versus Finland. Yeah, the one that everybody predicted Finland to win, and turns out that we had a sleeping dragon in the tournament. Okay. Jayne, do something. Okay, so let's just get right into it. In terms of going into this, China was not really known for doing any one specific comp, and I think that they showed that they were rather flexible throughout the tournament. But Finland was known for playing goats, and they played goats differently than pretty much everybody else. They liked to do a lot more quad tank. They liked to, in terms of like play, they were a lot more aggressive. One of the teams that was kind of doing the spawn camps as early as possible. Like the Rialto thing in the group stages, and then I lost my train of. It's like 5 seconds in, and I already lost my train of thought entirely. But anyway, they were rumored and discussed to be playing goats differently than how France, the UK, Eagle Gaming, those kind of groups were playing goats. So we'll have to see if we can kind of identify what those actual differences were here. Now, the interesting thing here is that China, in these matches when I was reviewing them, actually plays Ana goats quite frequently, where most Western teams would have played Zenyatta goats and vice versa. So Finland is going out on Ana goats, which is pretty decent choice here. Zenyatta goats is a lot weaker against things like dive, so you don't really want to roll out on Zenyatta goats unless you've kind of got like a really strong bead on what you think the opponent is playing. Ana goats is just a much safer choice. China doing the same thing. So in the first fight, we're just going to have a mirror match. So Finland is going to be taking the high ground, and this is something that Dallas Fuel was actually the first team that came up with this sort of, this vertical thing doesn't work at the same time. But you can see the difference in how China and Finland have rolled out here. They're very different. And the first thing, so what do you guys notice about this setup? If I was kind of like to be looking at the scouting of these initial rollouts, this would tell me a lot about how these teams operate in terms of like their mentality or their approach to the game. So if we're looking at this, so we've got all of China grouped up, but we've got Taimo and Zap is here, Fraggy here, and Finland back. So very phallic, yes, nod, nod, smile, smile. But what are the differences in these kind of setups implying about the two teams? So Finland has more options to move. Finland likes to separate teams. Finland are in a penis formation. China is a unit. Finland thinking about possible swaps. Thank you. That's the big one. That is the big one, is that Finland here is thinking about possible swaps. So there's two things that they could be doing. The first thing is that they want to potentially gain map control here, in that these two are up at the top so that they can get some information from here, and onto point. Fraggy is coming towards point, so he has these sight lines. We can look all around the map, and we can get the information as quickly as possible. Davin is able to hear. He's just kind of like sitting in a central, like a neutral position. So he can kind of react, get energy if anybody pushes. But then Big Goose is with Shaz, who as soon as this is scouted, should be able to speed immediately back off to spawn. And since they're playing Ana goats, if you guys were not here for yesterday's review, the circle of counters in goats goes Moira is countered by Ana, which is countered by Zenyatta, which can be countered by Moira. This one, the matchup usually goes in favor of Zen, but you can play it in a way where it counters Moira. So it goes Moira, Ana, Zen in terms of like the matchups. Moira is the best if you're fighting against some sort of spam, and then Zen is the one that's most easily countered by dive. So this is like the circle of counters. So they're going to scout Ana, and then Finland in like I don't remember, honestly. I haven't like prepped anything. But I didn't rewatch this game. I assume Shaz is going to be sped back to spawn, whereas China moving as a unit means they are kind of like committing. Oh yeah, I had the arrows backwards. Whatever. China in this sort of position is committing to this fight. You're all together. You're not scouting for information. And this is one of the things that I identified in this match, in that China didn't do a lot of scouting and counter swaps, which I kind of consider a mark of a lesser prepared team, which is kind of another thing that lulled me into a sense of complacency, I guess. One of the things about implying them going here instead of up through white is maybe they're worried about, a May wall or something like that. They don't want to be cut off. They don't want to take the risk. So they're going in the open, and they're pretty confident that Finland is going to play goats. So there's no real need for you to kind of like hide until the point is unlocked. So let's play this a bit. Let's see at what point the scouting was actually confirmed, and then Shaz boosts back to spawn. So let's take a look. So really fast, actually. Let's see how early they scouted on goats. So they're coming in. Fraggy's right on the point, looking for information. Scouting. Fraggy's looking. Zappiz is looking. Big Goose. Boom. Finland is out of there, moving Shaz to swap onto Zenyatta. Finland backs off. China takes map control. They've got Zenyatta, and they're moving back. And then here, finally, the engagement will actually occur. So the good thing is that with Finland's kind of ability to spread out and scout the different areas of the map, they gained a lot of information, and they gained it fast enough, and China showed themselves early enough that Finland is going to be able to recontest before the point is actually swapped. Or capped, rather. Okay, so let's actually bring it in here, and let's look at the first fight. So the objective of the Zenyatta goats is to just burst down Gushui on the Reinhardt. The objective of the Ana goats is to win through utility, the stronger healing to actually keep their Reinhardt alive. But Zenyatta goats, if Leave uses projected bubble on Gushui, Finland has the ability to all in. They can go in immediately, Taimo can stun, and even if Gushui is hard shielding, the stun without the projected bubble allows Discord from Shaz to be placed onto Gushui immediately. That kind of initial stun should be defense matrix to make sure that no additional damage from like Big Goose, Shaz, or Zappiz can damage Gushui and try and keep him alive for as long as possible. But Zenyatta is going to be a lot more of like an anti-Reinhardt, whereas China is going to try and keep Gushui alive through the superior heals, land either like a sleep dart, an anti, or if they do build nano fast enough, the nano, it's not like an instant I win button, but nano is more powerful than Discord in terms of like the Rhine matchup there. So that also kind of gives China more heals. Their heals become more powerful, and it will allow them to keep Gushui up. And if the fights last too long, Big Goose and Shaz will run out of healing. When we get into the later fights, the double support ultimates will allow them to sustain themselves through like chaining support ultimates. But in the first fight, that is not the case. So let's take a look. So Zap is moving in. Now the first objective from Finland here is to land a Discord onto Gushui, or to see if they see the projected. So there's the Discord on Gushui, and they're going in. And this triggers an all-in. I didn't see Leaves. I'm surprised they're going as aggressive as they are without Leaves projected, unless I missed it. No, yeah, so China goes in knowing that they can kind of bubble. Now here, Gushui needs to back off and preferably get his shield back up before he gets discorded. Because right now the Discord is on Late Young, and that's totally fine. So they've tried to split Taimo here, but I think Late Young's going to get punished. He kind of moves and gets split there, which is unfortunate. A really shit anti-nade coming in from Sky just mashes the shield of Fraggy. That's going to be one of your main conditions to win a fight against the Zenyatta goats, or just any kind of goats when you are playing Ana. So where is this sleep dart going? Like that sort of flank from Sky to hit that sleep dart, that's good. It's immediately woken up. But the anti-nade immediately just going to Fraggy's shield and not even hitting like Gushui, not good. Now, Fraggy's coming in. Gushui is discorded. You can see this pressure. I don't really like the whip shot knocking Gushui away. You want to keep him close so that you can punish him here. Now, this is also something that I recognize that Gushui did quite a bit here. In the fact that anytime there's a pillar like this or a wall like this, one of the things that Gushui likes to do is bait people into fighting into this area here, but then use speed or something and come in from the flank. I'm not sure if he's going to do it here, but this happens quite frequently. And you can see it definitely with Veltal here. Veltal likes using amped speed to fling Gushui and the Brigitte, whoever's playing at the time, around a flank and attacking on kind of like this low impact flank. So if I'm not wrong, this is like the perfect setup for what Gushui likes to do, where kind of go on one side and then very quickly rotate and attack in from the side. Oh. It's not a good thing to charge against Zenyatta goats. I wasn't expecting to try and charge. I was expecting him to kind of like use it to rotate his backline into position and kind of like attack from the side of goats here. But Gushue's charge definitely gets him punished. Very poor choice to charge against Zenyatta goats. Like, neither team... If Zenyatta goats is being played, I don't think charging is the option for either team. If your Reinhardt charges against the Zenyatta goats, he's going to get burnt with the assistance of the Discord. If the Zenyatta goats' Reinhardt charges in, first of all, unless he actually pins that Reinhardt who no longer has projected bubble, it's not going to be any value. And without like the major healing, even if you go in after him, your Reinhardt's going to be taking too much damage that you can't heal up. So charging when either team is playing Zenyatta goats, whether it's a Zenyatta mirror or one team is playing Zenyatta goats, is not the answer here. Yeah, that wasn't a feed from Veltal, that was a stall. Okay, so they're coming back in here. Let's take a look at the ultimates. Shy is coming up on Brigida's ultimate. Skye has Nano. Gushue's coming up on Hammer. Finland has the Transcendence, but nowhere close to beat. Big Goose still outpacing Veltal, though. Davin does have Grav. Tymo has Bash. Zappas doesn't quite have Bomb. So here they've got a couple options. The first option that they have is Grav early and try and burst them down, knowing that Veltal doesn't have Barrier and can't stay alive. The other options that they have here is kind of wait for Zappas to get Bomb. Zappas getting Bomb is much more of a secure play, and the fact that if you wait for Bomb, it doesn't matter if they have Barrier or not. Now, Fraggy and Tymo will both have their own jobs here, and this is kind of one of the things that I coached Canada on to do, is the fact that support ultimates very rarely, in terms of a GOATS matchup against a competent team, support ultimates very rarely actually keep you alive through Grav in order to turn around and win the fight. If you've got Transcendence, well, they're still going to probably stun you and kill you with Bomb or something of the sort. You know, if you use Beat, well, you know, there's so many ways that they can just allow the Bomb to connect through the Grav. Like, Reinhardt should be charging Reinhardt or the Zarya, because if you charge the Zarya, even if they bubble themselves, they're not going to be able to like get projected on anybody else. But then the Brigida at the last moment is going to be stunning whoever is left in the Grav and has the ability to shield themselves. So, you know, if there's a Brigida in the Grav, Tymo is going to stun Shy and allow the Bomb to connect. Or if you do it early enough and there's a Zarya and the Zarya is trying to wait for the last moment to drop both bubbles, if Tymo stuns the Zarya before she drops 2 bubbles, then she can, or that can prevent the Zarya from bubbling people, and that results in kills. So it's much more reliable, and in this case, it would allow Finland to get more capture percentage on the point if they did play slow, play safe, and wait for Zappas to get his Bomb here. So let's see what's going to happen. They've got Shy, who's... So this is another thing that China likes to do, is they kind of like... Veltal likes using amped speed to help people like Shy and Gushue engage. So it wouldn't surprise me to see an amped speed play onto a nanoed Brigida. It wouldn't be the most efficient thing to have happen. That's something that you may want to do after Shy has used Rally. But Shy doesn't really want to use Rally here because the armor will be gone if they fight against a Grav combo and they all die to it. So Shy's in a pretty awkward place in terms of wanting to use the Rally here. So I will be very interested to see how China approaches this fight and how Finland approaches this fight. So Shy is going to rally here, and Finland backing off is going to indicate to me that they're waiting for Zappas to get Bomb before they want to really engage here. And Tymo is going to match the rally so that they don't get kind of like overwhelmed here. So they're moving in. Gushue is discorded, but Finland again can't all in because Leave hasn't used projected yet. There's the projected, and Gushue is charging but gets stunned by Tymo. He's down. Shax needs to get a discord on him, and it's going to happen right there. So this aggression, really good. Really good nano from Skye there. This fight was over. My god, this beeping is annoying. Does that lose all our volume? Man, we don't have a separate slider for beeping? Do you guys want sound effects on or off? Okay, sorry guys, you're going to have to put up with the beeping. So this is like a really good nano boost play from Skye, and the fact that this fight should have been over without the need to use ultimates at all. Gushue is still going to need backup, need to back up here because he's still discorded regardless of the nano boost. So this nano boost isn't an offensive play or anything of the sort. It's something to keep him alive. I'll lower it a bit, though. So there's the grab that's thrown. Oh, Late Young barely missed the eat on that. They're coming in, and look what they waited for. Zap is on the bomb. So now, to really truly understand how good GOATS teams play, and as much as I hate to kind of rag on my boss, Team USA really did this extremely poorly in terms of comboing and finishing on like grab combos in GOATS. So look, the actions here. Now we know that Gushui is in Grav, and we know that Leaves projected probably isn't up, but his personal is, and Shy is going to be able to block. So let's see what Tymo decides to go for, and what Fraggy decides to go for. So Fraggy should pin Rhine, or, like, it really doesn't matter. You hit Gushui, you hit Shy, you hit Leave, any of those, it's fine. But then Tymo has to stun a different target. Okay, so bomb's coming in. Tymo's waiting. Shy goes down. Fraggy decides to pin Gushui. Tymo and Fraggy charged the same target. So let's look at this again. So kind of poor coordination. You should just be assumed that if your Rhine is charging, in terms of simplicity for coordination, your Rhine should charge their Rhine and your Brigida should stun their Brigida. Now the Brigida died, so if I was Tymo, I probably would have wanted to default onto stunning the Zarya. So there's the Nano. So they're in there. Veltal got into there. There's Zappis' bomb. Fraggy is going to need to charge Gushui. So there. This is the problem. Leave's bubble. Because Tymo didn't stun Leave, Leave was able to bubble himself, and Veltal actually survives because the center of mass of Veltal is inside Leave's personal bubble. So that's a misplay by Tymo. Stunning the same target that Fraggy is charging. It's turned this 1K, or it turned a 4K into a 1K. High score for sure. And then this should be cleanup regardless. It doesn't really matter that it was only a 1K. You know, on the other hand, not having hit that means that the rest of them will get more ultimates, but this is... yeah, that's like Zarya's bubbles, and this is another reason why Zarya's cannot on Zarya use bubbles early to farm energy, because it's so easily punished. In the same way that in GOATS matchups you would threaten with like a Roadhog hook, you have to threaten with the ability to use bubbles as late as possible. In GOATS, there's the chance of you using a bubble and not getting 40 energy out of it is like basically zero. It's super easy to farm energy, but if your goal with bubbles is to farm energy, your entire team is going to die to like combos and stuns and shit like that. So it's basically at the higher level, it's a game of chicken of who can use bubbles the latest. Because as soon as a bubble is used, it triggers a change in playstyle for both teams. Is shattering while stuck in grab a bad idea if Rhine charges? If the Brigida is still up, yes, it's a bad idea because you'll still die. And you can use the stun later in order to win a fight. So here, China got taken out there, but Leave and Gushui both have their ultimates. That's awesome. Finland, however, both is coming up to double support ultimate and a shatter of their own. So on the last fight, we were looking at playing and outplaying Graviton. This fight, we're going to be looking at playing and outplaying stun shatters, which I hope to see some pretty cool stuff from Tymo here. Excuse me. This viewer is so fucking cool. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how in-depth I can go? If I want to point something out, I can zoom in, I can pause, I can spin around. This is like revolutionary, man, for... Needs beeper slider. It's pretty nuts. Anyway, so let's take a look at stun shatters. Okay. So we're coming in here. Tymo's just doing the scouting. So the Tymo here, and who amped? It was Big Goose, right? Why are they triggering an engage on this? Did Leave already use projected? Why did Big Goose... So Tymo's like set up for a stun shatter here. But what causes Big Goose to amp? I didn't see the trigger. So, okay. Interesting.
Огонь по готовности.
So, one more time. So they decide to engage really, really proactively. Now, the thing with China is they have Shy right here. So, Hammer starts triggering and Taimo's going to go in. I assume the bubble on Taimo is prevent him to get stunned. This is obviously something they've practiced, a set play. Because, like, really the only way that you can block this is by, like, stunning the Brigitte or stunning the Reinhardt. But the way that a better team would have been doing this is instead of trying to do the very difficult play of trying to stun one of the people who are setting up this combo, being Taimo or Fraggy, right? That's very difficult, and the timing is incredibly precise. Instead of doing this, you use Shy's shield to block the Earth Shatter, as well as Leave's bubbles to block the Shatter. So Shy could have just held shield, and Gushui could have received projected bubble. Like, Leave's bubble here is just a moment too late, which is, first of all, China's fault for getting playing a little bit too split here. But this could have gone really badly for Finland. I think this was a preemptive engagement. It worked out. Yeah, you can block with projected bubble. You can prevent the stun from happening, and even if the stun does hit, the projected bubble will save the Reinhardt from getting stunned and anybody who's behind the Reinhardt. So there's the stun, and at this point, Shy doesn't have his shield up, and Leave hasn't bubbled Gushui. There's the slam, and it's going to hit Veltal, Gushui, and Late Young probably, because Leave, like, if Gushui was bubbled here, Veltal wouldn't have got stunned. So they're both down. It's pretty bad. Sky's grenade gets blocked by Leave. That's really unfortunate. If you see, Sky accidentally throws the nade into Leave instead of having it hit Gushui.
Defense matrix activated.
Here we go. Stun, slam, boom. Yeah. So this is being played suboptimally by both teams, honestly, at this point. Late Young gets demeched. Leave's Graviton was wasted. And, like, at this point, it's kind of like, you know, still not impressed with China's play. You know, still not impressed with China's play. Like, Finland's been doing some stuff that they could improve on, but they've been playing better than China at this point. What was wrong with the set play from Finland there? They didn't wait for bubbles.
Routing power to forward
Okay.
barrier.
Next fight here. Let's take a look at this. Gushui still has Hammer. They're getting Bomb and Rally. They're getting a lot of ults here, so they have a lot of options about whether they want to kind of fight early or fight late. Why grab there? I don't know. This is also one of the things that I identified as a pretty big weakness of Leave's play in particular, is the fact that Leave is extremely free and loose with his Gravitons, is that, or any of his ultimates really. It's not just on Zarya. When he has it, he will use it very proactively, very early, as if he doesn't really value the grav that much. And this is something that, you know, like the Twitter thread is still up. You know, I identified that this was part of Leave's playstyle, is that if he has Graviton, if he has, you know, if he's playing Doomfist and he has Meteor Strike, he's going to just, like, use that shit right away. So this is kind of like just playing into the kind of playstyle of Leave. You know, he's just very free and loose with his Gravitons. Okay, Finland on this side has Barrier, Graviton of their own, but nothing to really go with Graviton. So they'd have nothing that they can really set up. They don't have Hammer. They don't have Bomb. So would they have been able to track Veltal's beat here? I don't know. So let's see. It's not immediately apparent what either of these teams are going to do based on their ultimate charge. So let's kind of like play it and see how it works out. Okay. So Finland is playing this split map control defense of like the Dallas Fuel. So I like this quite a bit. Normally you have like Davin in place of Zappiz and swapping, but that's fine. So they are doing the stun shatter of themselves. Let's look at this again. So China decides to go for a stun shatter of their own. Come on, come in. Do. So Leave used personal. Gushui's going in. Davin's right in the middle. He's pretty low on health. Fraggy just fire strikes here. Gushui's projected is used here. But Finland's still backing off.
Time to raise my APM.
So there you can see Davin hit the projected bubble on Fraggy. So he didn't do it to the point in time where it prevented Fraggy from getting stunned, but he did do it to an area where Fraggy didn't get knocked down. And then was it Tymo who...
Forward barrier.
Let's look at you, Gushue. Okay, so they go for the stun onto Fraggy, but where does the hammer actually go? So I think the stun actually would have missed Fraggy anyway. Davin gets knocked, but that's not bad. Tymo saves himself and Shaz, and then Big Goose was behind with the berry the entire time. And this is the sort of plays in Ultimates. Big Goose might be a little bit aggressive here. It's not a big deal. But this is more the use of support ultimates in the GOATS matchup, is that you're going to be using it to kind of like counter push and whatnot. They invested ultimates, they overextended, now they're low, now you can punish here. So Shy has just used Rally, but with Shaz getting Discord on? Is there a Discord there? There's not. There will be momentarily, right? Yep, there it is. Tymo's going to punish that. Tymo's going to punish Shy, absolutely. Tymo, with that barrier, wants to get up in people's faces, stun them down, use that where he's not being threatened. Not only do China not have a Discord, but they're low and they can't kind of push into them nearly as hard. They've got the Discord on Brigida. They're going to go for him first. And then either if Gushue has backed off, they'll probably just pick one of the off tanks and burn through that. The Paris stream is starting. Cool. There's Shy being stunned and deleted. Nice. So Late Young pops the bomb here. And Davin grabs. Okay, so what do we think about the bomb and the grab here? I don't like the bomb because it's not being comboed with anything. And I don't think Late Young was even low, right? So what is Late Young doing? What does Late Young see to cause the bomb here?
Get through this.
You're at 600 HP.
Nerf this.
Okay, why?
Mecha activated.
I don't understand that. Veltal's dropping beat. Fraggy's charging. It's not going to connect. It's pretty lucky. Now the Nano goes on to leave because they're going to want to try and build this Graviton before time is up. And Tymo's rally comes up. Sky's going to get punished. So Finland is very securely in control of this fight. Shatter tries to do the hammer tech through Gushue's shield. It doesn't work out, and Finland wins. Okay. Let me know if anything super exciting happens in the Paris stream. Okay, so Finland goes up 1-0, and pretty commandingly, right? So China made a lot of mistakes. Finland kind of played well. They played well. Absolutely no question that Finland played well here. You know, there's like very, very minor improvements. I'm nitpicking, but in terms of like a GOATS matchup, it was much.
Ready for battle.
Finland did good. Words are hard. I don't know what I was trying to say. Okay, I'm not an authority on the matter. You know, I hear the same rumors everybody else does. But yeah. Anyway, so we just looked at the first map, just kind of picking things back up. On the first map there, Finland looked to be a much more solid team on GOATS. They made some arguably suboptimal plays, but they were solidly the better GOATS team. So here, we're going to see if they do the same thing on Gardens. Or Jayne is in on the debate. Nah, I wouldn't do that to you, chat. Do you, like, on a side note, do you know how much it pains me to not be able to share all of my thoughts with you guys? Like, obviously there's things from my experience with Dallas Fuel and Team Canada that I just cannot share if I want to kind of remain as a professional. But no. So the only things that I will ever like censor my thoughts about for you guys are things about Dallas Fuel and Team Canada. I will push myself right up to that line to be as transparent as possible, but there's just things that as a professional I can't share and won't share. But if it's things that aren't about those two things, then you're going to get my honest thoughts every single time. So, anyway, if I'm talking about something that is not related to the Dallas Fuel or Team Canada, you're going to get my honesty. But everything else is the worst I'll ever do is lie through a mission. So just like not talk about things. Just plead the fifth and be like, nope. I know you guys can keep a secret, but you know. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Do we still have audio? Okay. So Finland going to be playing the... now, this is the composition that I had thought France was actually going to run. In that this composition is basically the Brita McCree composition that everyone's running, but it's got Soldier instead. And Soldier has a higher continuous damage output, but has a lower burst. And also doesn't have a stun, so you can't do crazy things like chain stunning. And you can't like chain stun, especially things like Diva, because you would Brig stun first, and then you would stun afterwards, because the defense matrix can't go back up to block the flash here. So I'm firmly of the opinion that this composition from Finland is utter shit. I haven't scrimmed against it, but I haven't seen it have... Like, I haven't seen it just have any kind of appreciable impact where a McCree and a Brigida wouldn't have done a better job. So, yeah. I'm still questioning about this. Like, that being said, let's look at the initial rollout. So, rollout. Finland very aggressively taking the pillar. This is a pretty good play against Afara in that they want to get their soldier right in the open there. Shy is taking Dojo, and Leave and Veltal are kind of hanging around. They're probably going to move towards the geometry of like the main spire here. Gushui and Late Young are in a bit of an awkward position here in that they're kind of on the bridge and they're slower. China doesn't have Lucio, which means that they're going to get to the middle pillar too late. Now, crossing this open area to get up to this pillar where Gushui and Late Young kind of want to be is going to be extremely difficult because they're going to be crossing open territory, whereas Zenyatta, Lucio, and Soldier are all going to spam them out. So they're going to take a lot of damage here. So probably their best bet, although being here would be kind of like optimal, they're probably going to have to want to stay around the bridge. And this does a couple things, right? If Finland does decide to push up on them, Shy is going to have an easier chance of flanking, and then Veltal is also going to have a much more... Leave is going to have a much more vertical angle on Finland as they push farther up. So really, it's going to be Gushui and Late Young's decision about how this is played, but the initial plan was likely for them to try and take Central Pillar or something like that and vie for control there. But if they try and cross this open space, I think they're going to take just a shit ton of damage. So let's see how it goes. Okay. So how does Gushui play this? Gushui bubbles, and then kind of like caught in no man's land and has to back off to the side. Almost dies. Still Discord and has to back out, causing Veltal to leave. So, yeah. Gushui and Late Youngs, they realized the initial plan was bad. Their indecision caused them to have to use a cooldown, get really far chipped down. Veltal had to leave, and that is a pretty poor first engagement there for China. So now they've done this immediate swap here, and this is really good. This is a really good swap of compositions. So McCree and Brigida and Soldier and Brigida, if you've been listening kind of like to my analysis from both today and the last 2 days, you've heard me talk about the circle of counters. And the circle of counters to a Brigida Soldier or a Brigida McCree is goats. It would be weaker if you had a Zenyatta goats, but an Ana goats and a Moira goats are both incredibly powerful at just fucking up Finland's composition here. So they're not going to get first cap, which is unfortunate, but they are going to be able to win first fight unless they fuck up really badly. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, so they're going to go through white, which is a good decision there. They don't want to get split. They want them to stay as a core here. Finland's setup... Oh, Finland's setup is... Yeah, just playing sightlines here. So there's this main choke. Let's take a look here. So Gushui is coming in. He's got projected. And Taimo is on the side here. But with Fraggy and Winston, it's not like there's a real big danger here unless Taimo's trying to go for like a knockoff play or something with a stun into the whip shot. But with this projected, should be able to get through this choke. And all of China's like really, really high health here. So honestly, Taimo's probably in a really dangerous position if Veltal still has speed. Veltal, do you have speed? Veltal still has speed. Taimo's in trouble. So let's see how this plays out. How in the fuck? Oh, did Shy Whip shot him away? Okay, that was nice. Play this around. They move around. Who are they going to force onto? Fraggy's doing a great job getting cleave here. Now, this is something... This I actually remember this point in time because it gave me an indication about how Shy likes to play. So Shy on the Brigida is extremely aggressive here, and you see Timo, even with him getting knocked away, is really low here. But right about, is it this moment right here? This moment right here was very interesting for me to look at, and the fact that it tells me something about how the teams themselves are playing. So Timo is in a pretty aggressive place. There's beeping here. Timo's in a pretty aggressive place, and he allowed Shy to go for the bash here. But Shy aggressively bashing without any direct follow-up and no Discord is also a pretty risky play of his own, especially playing into Shax here. So Timo gets punished, but that gives us a pretty good indication about Shy's playstyle as a Brigida. He's okay being frontline, and he's okay using his shield bash very aggressively forward in order to get value and get picks. It was Timo who was out of position there, but let's also see if this opportunity was recognized by Veltal at the same time. So Veltal was there, and he did move right up to the front line, and then he's going to retreat right back to Sky. So this is, like, I really, really like Veltal's Lucio play, and I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does for this Chinese squad. But he does a great job. And then as predicted, because China swaps onto, Finland's direct counter, they win this team fight. They lost 40% because of how bad their initial rollout was. And then Finland, if you're... think Circle of Counters, what is Finland going to play? They're going to play Zenyatta Goats. Because China is on Ana Goats. You're going to see this Circle of Counters come in pretty much for the vast majority of the games in this tournament. And the only times that it doesn't happen, it's usually because of a very specific map reasoning. Okay, so now Finland is going to be wanting to go on the long side. And one of the benefits of coming into this area instead of crossing the bridge is that this will give Shaz on the Zenyatta longer straight sight lines. So let's talk about this for a second. There's a grab, and this is another thing. I'm going to go back just a little bit here. In the fact that if you're attacking in this area here, the idea behind having this attack point from the Zenyatta Goats is if you can get your Reinhardt to come in here and then turn this corner, you can rotate your backline to go behind the Zenyatta, and now you have really, really straight sight lines where the Zenyatta can get a lot more value. Now, if you actually were to cross the bridge instead, and the opponent was playing... around this area, if you've got your Reinhardt here, your Zenyatta is going to be back here, and he can see this angle. But if China is holding here with... Oh, apparently Reinhardt's holding it backwards. If their Reinhardt's using this corner, and their Ana is holding right back here, the Ana can apply value to the front line, but the Zenyatta gets most value when they can see both front lines, and they want a straight line through both teams. So going left here is beneficial because Finland can move their backline in behind where they can get value in joining the fight. Whereas if they take a fight here, China gets way more value out of their Ana. So that's kind of one of the benefits and one of the reasonings behind whether you can choose to fight at corners or in straight lines. So we can look at this more at like a map like Ilios Lighthouse or something like this. But whenever you're playing Zenyatta, with the lack of heals, you need to try and force fights to happen in linear trajectories. Whereas if you're going against something with Zenyatta or like Zenyatta McCree, you want to fight around corners and force them out of their position. So if China held a little bit farther back, then if Fraggy on the Reinhardt wanted to go contest him, he would have to turn this corner, which would remove him from the LOS of his backline. So knowing when you're on Goats and other similar compositions, whether or not you need to play around corners or need to play around straight lines of sight is really quite important. So I just wanted to kind of point out that Finland's decision to go here was different than China's decision to go here, but equally sound. Does that make sense? I'm just going to stop for a moment to make sure that that's a concept people understand. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Def Maybe with the Prime, Shadow Blaster with the Prime, Radio Skeleton with the 2 months, JM Stumpo with the $3 says, do you think that Paris' strat will be to surrender after losing one map? Oh, man. What do you think about First Fight Trance? First Fight Trance? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you repeat what I said? I was AFK. I'm reading bits right now. Lefay with the 200 bits says, it comes from the similarity between the Latin word for rooster and gallus, which is spelled the same. Oh, that makes more sense. Andre the Stig, 200 bits, says, hey, Jayne, I'm currently LFT as an off-tank, but my friends are making a team and want me to play main tank for them. Can you give me some advice on transitioning to that role, or should I not do it at all? Playing with friends is... If you, it depends what your goal is. If you want to play to have fun, join your friends. If you want to join better teams and get better at Overwatch, don't join your friends. Thanks for all you do. Love your content. Thanks, Ontos. Thanks for the 6 months. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's get rid of these overlays. And let's see how this fight... Oh, we're into the ground. Let's see how this fight plays out.
Огонь по готовности.
Nerf this. All systems checked out.
Oh, very nice. That must have been a bash shatter. So this is one of the things that can be dangerous. So the first thing, there's a couple things here that China is still not looking comfortable on goats. Like late young, one of the things that I... and I'm glad on my second viewing that I'm agreeing with myself that was up at like 5 in the morning looking at China VODs, is that late young at no point during this VOD at all impressed me. At all. Like just done. Is that late young's bombs seemed to be questionable. Not comboed, like they used it to sometimes make space and allow for like a really hard engage. But Late Young had no identifiable play style, so he wasn't like a peeling diva. He wasn't an aggressive diva or anything like that. He always stayed in a neutral stance, which has its benefits. It has its weaknesses, but he kind of felt like tofu, just completely bland and tasteless on the diva. So. Here, we're going to see the bomb. Like, they have Grav here. And is this the one where Leave yeets the Grav? Because, again, like I talked about it on the last map, where Leave is just like, ults? Fuck it, press Q. Like, he's just got this compulsion to ult super early and take the initiative really high. And Zap is on the side here. Oh, I'm pretty sure Leave gets his Grav eaten here. But this is, like, really early in the fight. And Leave is like, yeet! And Zap is like, yoink! Nom, 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 nom. So Grav gets eaten, and then does Late Young bomb right away, or is it afterwards? So Late Young bombs here. So they grabbed, they rallied, now they're throwing bomb in and nanoing Gushui. So, like, and the other thing is that they did all 4 of these ultimates super, super early in the fight. Like, super early in the fight. They just took cap. We're at 20%. We're not trying to, like, bait Finland in. We know that Finland has swapped and they have fewer ultimates. Like, they have barrier. It's not really a big deal when we've got, like, bombs and things that can burst right through barrier, right? If you get a good grav, if you get a bomb, barrier's not going to keep them alive. You set up the pins, you set up the stuns, they're all dead anyway. Like, fuck your beat. You know, good try. But Veltal's going right in. Gushui is on the nano boost here. But one of the things is that they've, without kind of Late Young... So this is one of the reasons why I don't like kind of ulting for space, is that bomb is powerful and it can force positioning, but without Late Young here to assist Gushui, Finland is still playing Zenyatta Goats, which means that Gushui is going to be under a lot of pressure with or without nano, right? With or without nano. So let's look at this. Bomb comes in. Now, they do get a little bit split. So we've got Davin and Taimo on the right. Zap is still kind of like floated around the outside. So China is being like pushed into the center of Finland, which is... It's risky. It's super risky for a lot of different reasons here. But Nano Boost is going out onto Gushui, and they're going to try and push in. But where exactly do they go, right? If Gushui doesn't attack Zenyatta... You know, he's going to get nano on him for a lot longer, but this is just dangerous. They're not in front of the bomb. They can't punish it. They're not trying to do anything else. They bombed for space, which caused Finland to run away, not like towards the nano Reinhardt. It's just such a messy and chaotic fight here. So Gushui is like, gotta get value out of this nano boost. Fire strikes. But here, Gushui is nanoed, and he knows that he's not getting much, right? Look at the health pools of Finland. Zappas is the only one who isn't at full, and he's the fuck over there asleep. You know? Late Young isn't here in order to defense matrix any of the real high damage from Shaz, so he's just going to get pummeled, and then he backs off. Now, when he finally backs off, the one thing that finally is going to get value is Gushue's hammer and Shy stunning Fraggy. Right here. Stun. Okay? So, Shy with the rally stuns Fraggy, and this is going to get Tymo. And Davin, what bubbles does Davin have? Davin has no bubbles, so that was probably tracked, but they know that Fraggy has no bubbles, so kind of like a pretty impatient counter push from Finland here to not wait for cooldowns to be back up. Like, Gushue is not low enough. He still has nanoed. He still has nano. He's not low enough to justify an all-in push against him, and Zap is additionally asleep, so he can't even assist. So this is a pretty like preemptive counter push from Finland here, and the stun slam should get 3. Davin gets his projected bubble up just a second too late to save, or did he actually save Tymo? His bubble was at 1 second, but we looked at him, so he is going to save Tymo. But Gushue coming in, Nano has now worn off, and it's going to be enough for China to counter push. So really poorly played from China. They won, but it was super poorly played. They used 5 of their 6 ultimates. Finland's one mistake was counter-pushing without bubbles and without kind of identifying that Gushue had Shatter and playing around it. But so China wins this match, but Finland is still playing better. So Finland, the correct play, moving to the corner. Now China has Veltao. They've got Bomb, Trance. Let's see how this goes. So projected bubble comes out from Fraggy. Now this is a pretty common play in the matchup between like a Zenyatta Goats and an Ana Goats. Is you're fine with using this bubble early because you're not really worried about needing the bubble in order to cleanse Transcendence. But if you can, with this aggression from Fraggy, get leave to use the bubble onto Gushue, like this, that was the entire intention. You can see Fraggy is immediately kind of backing off as soon as he's got Gushue's bubble out. The play here now becomes that Finland can either get Discord on Gushue if he decides to swing at any point, or they can force the Discord onto Gushue and all in by stunning him. So we're going to be seeing how exactly Finland decides to want to play this. They can also all in even harder. As soon as Shaz does get the Discord onto Gushue, one of the things that they can do is transcend and then just all in him. Or just kill him before the next projected comes up, because there's nothing that can really keep him alive after that. So this is like the entire purpose of Zen Goes, right? Get that bubble out and then just fucking all in on the Reinhardt, delete him and clean up. Now, you guys remember what I was talking about on Control Center? Hopefully. But notice this same setup. Tiny obstacle, China trying to bait Finland into exposing their flank. So keep an eye on that.
Defense matrix activated. Nerf this.
Огонь по готовности.
So this is another kind of like an interesting choice, this time from Zappas. So Zappas is using his bomb, and why is this? Why is Zappas using his bomb?
Time to raise my APM.
This is not something I would have expected.
Nerf
So he
this.
just
Огонь по готовности.
Why did he throw it? If he had meant to land that bomb like here outside instead of at the corner, one of the things that this bomb could have done is instead of allowing Finland to push in, it could have forced China to push into them. Yeah, it prevents the retreat. So I can see that. I wonder if this... I would love to look at more Finland play. So this is one of the things that I'm looking at, and if I could see multiple points in time in which a team like Finland did this, you identify that as a trend, then this is something that you can kind of prepare a team for. So now that we've seen it once, I'll be looking for Zappas to do a similar play in the future here. Gushue once again tanking this Discord through the use of Nano. Gushue does not get back in time, and Fraggy lands the slam. Okay. Taimo uses the shield bash just to get farther forward. Oh boy, now this is going to be an interesting one because the idea here is that Finland can actually burst through the Discord pretty easily. Sorry, burst through the Nano pretty easily if they have Discord on him. But he is heal buffed, right? So China is probably going to bait so many resources poured into Gushui that Finland might actually lose this fight if they try an all-in Reinhardt like is the plan. And I assume Veltal's about to amp? Do you have amp, Veltal? What is up with your arm? Just used it. Okay, so he just used it. Let's look at this again from Veltal's perspective. So they're using Nano to tank the Discord to go aggressive. Gushui tries to swing on Zappas, who is applying that side pressure. Gets hammered without the assistance of Taimo's stun. Veltal has amp here. He's being super patient with it. There's the grab. Here's the amp. Amp, rally. Oof. Finland's not going to win this. All in on a target they had no hope of killing. I love Veltal, man. I was looking at this match, I was like, Veltal is seriously impressive. And one of the other things that I really, really enjoyed about Veltal's play in watching Team China was the fact that he has this very, very discreet kind of positioning in the fact that he almost always sticks with his partner on support. Whether they're playing on a Lucio or Mercy Zen, doesn't matter. He sticks with Skye until a play needs to be made, and then he moves to the front line, conducts that play, immediately finds and returns to his support partner. And the amount of times that he assists with Skye's repositioning, you know, if they have, like, if the opponent has a Doomfist or something, he'll assist Skye in getting to safe positions, faster opportunities. You know, they'll wait in different areas until Doomfist has used cooldowns, and then they'll reposition. So Veltal is a very, very smart player with both his amps, his timing, and his positioning. He's a great player. He's a great player. Okay. Finland's still on the Zenyatta Goats. It's still the right... Like, you might say, insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. This is still the best decision for Finland. Now they're coming in. Gushui charging. Gushui and Leave are both low. And Gushui's charging in here. 98%. Oh, he's doing this in order to try and attempt to prevent the cap from Finland. Does he succeed? No, he does not. Okay. Late Young's bomb has been thrown as well. Gushui has gotten bubbled to protect him. Is he going to survive this? Yes, because of the bomb. And Fraggy gets punished. How does Fraggy get punished here?
Routing cowards forward through this. Nerf this. All systems check.
Just focus fire, I guess. Now, with Fraggy down, that should... Well, they trade for Gushui. Now, did Shaz get the Discord on before he entered Transcendence?
Nerf this.
He did not, actually. Still got Gushui, though.
Get through this. APM 좀 올려볼까?
Okay, are there any ultimates left on the board? Nano and Grab for China, and then Bomb for Finland.
Routing cowards forward.
Oh, keep flying through walls. Oof, that was pretty nice. So let's look at this again. Oh, man. I want to go here. I want to go here? Damn, man. I wish I could, like, remove rooftops. Anyway, so in this fight here, you're going to see China do it again, in that China really likes drawing people in and then catching them on very quick flanks. So watch in this fight, watch Veltal's use of amp, Shy's positioning, and Skye's nano boost. That's what's important here. So let's slow things down. See how they've kind of like, they're playing around the left side entirely. Leave drops back.
I'm gonna have to shoot you.
And watch Shy's positioning here. They know they're fighting around this left side. And here Shy goes. Flanked. Very low effort flanks.
Who's ready to take some punishment?
This is what I'm talking about, in that China likes kind of baiting people in and then just slamming themselves into the flanks of teams. They did this on Control Center. They're doing it here again on Gardens. Grav comes out. Hammer comes in. Ooh, Fraggy returned and is just going to solo slam yet late young.
Огонь по готовности.
Okay, what's going on here? Nice little Finland bomb into a Grav.
Till May.
Both Gravs came out. Leave has bubble, right? Oh, Leave. Was Leave too late on that bubble? No way, Leave.
Get through this.
Who's ready to take some punishment?
I think Leave fucked up his bubble.
Routing power to forward barrier.
Okay.
Огонь по готовности.
There's the Grav.
Огонь по готовности.
Okay, so Leave. First off, we need to find out if Leave does have bubble off cooldown. He does not. It's 2 seconds on cooldown. He's probably spamming the shit out of this.
Alla till
Veltal gets the beat off. But yeah, if Leave bubbles here, he saves Veltal and Sky. And where's Tymo? Is Tymo dead? Tymo's over here. He's not going to be able to stun anyone in the Grav. Okay. Milliseconds. Absolute milliseconds. I call it the tragedy of China, circa 2018. Davin's low. Leave has his bubble up, so they should be able to burst Davin down. Leave barely survives. Zap is low. And Zap is and Fraggy chase him off the point, so China gets a cap. Okay.
Score 1-1.
Interesting.
Ready for battle.
And I would like to point out in that last fight that Veltal did beat, but again, it didn't save them, right? This is why support ultimates in this meta are used for much different reasons than trying to survive gravitons. Like, especially in the case of beat, the chance of you getting stunned out of beat in the middle of a grav is actually pretty high. Now, this is another map. Like, so far, like, hopefully you guys can see my thinking. And this is both, hopefully you guys can see the logic in my thinking, as well as how naive I was simultaneously. So first off, Finland appears to be the better team, and China has some really exploitable weaknesses and some patterns to their gameplay. Right? They have both of it. Like, their goats is not the strongest thing ever. Their combos are not, super well polished. Gushui doesn't look that strong on Reinhardt right here. And then this map especially is pretty not good. Pretty not good for China. Okay, so we're going to take a look at each one of the rollouts and whatnot. But this one specifically from China left me scratching my head and kind of with a much lower opinion of China than I probably should have had. So how you doing, Jayne? Good to see you. But anyway, so let's play things out.
Round 3.
Let's go here. Let's go right here. So, circle of counters, right, chat? So we have Brigitte McCree. What does Brigitte and McCree counter? It counters dive, right? And dive, specifically Sombra and the Sombra, Pharah, and Hammond, really the only good use of Hammond in the current meta. Unless you're doing something like triple tank dive with Hammond or like a Hammond Goats variant. If you're playing in Hammond in this very specific context, it is almost guaranteed that you are intending to disrupt Goats to allow the Pharah and the Sombra to get more value. So Gushui's pick here implies to me that they were expecting a goats rollout here. The Sombra and the Pharah absolutely solidify that China is here to fuck up goats. They just want to, like, take the face of goats, put it into the gravel, and just shake that shit around. Okay? Now, I would also like to point out that China has 3 different sight lines on Finland. They have 3 different sight lines on Finland, and Finland has kind of stuffed themselves, right? So they should know at this point in time that Finland is not playing goats. They should have scouted this, right? Finland has now shown themselves. Finland has now shown themselves. And what are the immediate actions that you would expect from a team like China? You would expect that a team like China in this instance would not stay on this composition. Go back, swap 3-3, roll them over. They did it on Gardens. They did it on Gardens. But here you're going to see China not do that. And this was one of the things that I was like, what the fuck is China doing? So let's play this out a little bit. So they're flanking around. Like, Shai is here too. Shai is on the high ground, I assume? No, he's on the low ground, so they know this is a thing. And then look what they're doing. Late Young is following Gu Shui onto the point. They're committing to this. Shai's right there. They're on Winston. And they're moving around. They're putting their Zenyatta at the back corner. And now Finland has China basically right where they want. Right? Finland has the advantage in terms of the composition. And one of the things with China's composition here is that it can be very difficult to actually hold on the point. You know, the Hammond can swing onto the point, pile drive, and kind of retreat. But doing this is going to cause you to have to do that when the opponent is in the courtyard instead. Shai hasn't decloaked to try and farm or anything, which is okay. It can be scary to do that against Zenyatta, McCree, and Brigitte. But let's just see how this plays out. So the first thing that I was looking at is, like, it was a great rollout from China. It was a great initial comp. They came out for a specific reason to fuck up goats. They did not see goats. They instead saw their direct counter, and then they played like morons. So this was me scratching my head trying to figure out what China's game plan was here. So they're going to be going directly onto the point. Don't know what Fraggy was doing there. And then here you're going to see Gu Shui go right into the middle of the courtyard and pile drive and then retreat right here. So this happens, and then Gu Shui going in. What exactly is he pile driving? What exactly is he pile driving? He's not playing with, like, a dive goats or anything like that. He's not, you know, if you're doing a general pile drive like this, you're trying to knock back up as many people as possible so that you can have things like splash damage, you can have things like other people coming in, you know, cleaving them, the Genji dashing through multiple people. But he comes down, and then he's discorded, he's low, and he's going to have to retreat. So he uses his adaptive shield, and he gets out. But the other thing is that they're playing a Zenyatta and a Mercy here. And then this means that Leave is going to be unsupported because they have so few heals if they commit Veltal to Leave that Hammond, the number of initiations and retreats and, like, disruptive actions that he can make is severely choked or bottlenecked by the amount of healing that they can provide him during his cooldown. So Leave is going to get much less value. They're going to have to invest 2 healers worth of resources and attention onto a character, Gu Shui, who's not getting much value when he's actually engaging here. So let's see how this continues to play out. Fraggy just jumping, I guess? It's the second jump that I don't really know what he's doing. And this is another thing, this was another kind of identifying feature about Late Young's playstyle, is that Late Young likes the neutral stances unless he can kind of take and hold a position. So Late Young loves pillars like this. He doesn't kind of dive, he doesn't retreat. He will stand and, like, fight Brigittas for this sort of position. He will fight tanks for this sort of position. He doesn't like kind of giving people positioning for free and will harass from corners like this. So Finland, despite having all of the generosity in the world being shown to them by China, you know, having advantage, the one thing that's not great on terms of like Finland's composition here is the part that their healing is really low. But the healing is really low because Davin is not able to trigger his Inspire here. And you really need Davin's Inspire as well as Big Goose's Aura to be able to really tank damage for any period of time. But Finland's indecision, their kind of wasted jumps, and the allowance for Gushue to actually engage without punishing is going to be costing Finland quite a bit of their resources, specifically their health pools. So Fraggy's going to be going against Late Young, but that engagement is not in any way in favor of Late Young. But they have the Brigida and the McCree. One of the things they could do is pressure Late Young out with either of those characters, but they're not going to do that. Davin comes forward. There's the bash, but there's no McCree and no Zenyatta follow-up. The Discord is not on Late Young right now. Who is Shaz's Discord on? No one, right? So Finland is shitting the bed here. They were looking like a good team on the first and second map, and here they just kind of like put their brain in a blender. So they're not playing this composition the way it's meant to be played. They're just wasting cooldowns like crazy. And because of this, China's shit rollout, shit counter comp is going to not only take first cap, but probably win this first fight. And I don't actually remember.
Time to raise my
So they get bashed back. Now the Discord gets on him. Now they're going to be healed up just at the same time. So Shy in the back line, decloaking, just farming EMP here. And Big Goose already has barrier. That's pretty cool. What are you going to do with barrier? What are you going to do with barrier? Is Tymo going to chase Shy? That's unfortunate. You need that on the front line. Davin's going forward. So Shaz, you really need to ignore Sombra here. You really need to ignore Sombra here. There's just no value. Sombra can't do much. Like, she's going to get EMP. That's kind of like a given. But going all in on tanks, assisting your Brigida, is way more important. Because the amount of time that it takes you to, like, force Translocator out, Shy is going to be right back in there in only a couple of seconds. Where you've got beat, this beat needs to be used for you to go really aggressively and burn a target down. But Shaz and Tymo here are putting all of these potential tank-burning resources into a Sombra. Tymo decides to turn around. Shaz as well. But the barrier has been wasted. So Big Goose's good work has been wasted. Shaz took damage from somewhere, and they didn't use this opportunity to actually move forward and punish. Like, Late Young is low, Gushue is low. Look at how low both of the tanks from China are. And both of the tanks from China are this low without the assistance of a Zenyatta or a McCree. How did Shaz get so hurt? That's a great question.
time to raise my APM.
Pile driver. Beat saves him, so he just wasn't healed up through the barrier. Right? Did Davin at any point during this first fight trigger his Inspire? At any point?
Raise my APM.
The objective is now active.
I think he triggered it once.
I'm taking damage.
Oh, you're T-posing. Nice. Let's take a look at Davin's play here.
Shield holding.
더 on.
I'm taking damage.
Could whip shot the Diva there in order to trigger Inspire. Inspire's still not triggered. Still haven't hit anything.
Feeling better.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inspire's done. At least fucking hit the Diva, please, Davin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fixing you up.
Inspire's no longer up for the beat in order to heal Zenyatta through it.
Justice.
So, like, one of the things when you are playing in a Brigida composition, it is totally okay during the posture phase to be trying to do things like landing long range whip shots onto poking tanks in order to trigger Inspire, as well if you're in the posture phase or whatnot, you can go up and just tickle, and then if you feel like you're in a play position where you can be punished, you can shield bash away, right? But you've got 2 stuns here. You've got the shield bash, you've got the flash, you've got Discord. You can one-shot any of their tanks here, assuming they don't get the adaptive shield off, but you've got so much damage. And the other thing with like Gushui himself is that he's going to be able to get the flashbang itself, eaten from Late Young's defense matrix. But if Gushui starts to roll away and then he gets stunned or something like by Davin, then he has to build his momentum back up to escape. And if you try and like stun him after he attached his grapple or something like that, which probably wouldn't be the case because he'd be grappling in, not out, it's disappointing. It's disappointing.
Time to read my APM.
Gushui goes back in. Shaz is low. Big Goose's barrier. Barrier is wasted because we're fucking around on Shy. Late Young and Gushui get so low. Leave pops the primal, or pops the primal apparently. Barrage doesn't work. This fight is chaos. Shaz is going to clear the mines off with Transcendence. Late Young gets Big Goose. Gushui's in, getting healed, double pocketed, but he is discorded. Zappis is going to get demeched here. Chaotic fight. Oof, man.
Game on. Time to read my APM.
This fight is still going. Unbelievable. And like, finally Finland grows some balls here and moves in, but this was pretty disappointing play from Finland. Pretty disappointing play. So, at this point in time, me reviewing this the day before we play China, I'm still going, China's not that good of a team. I'm still going, Finland played better on the first map. Finland, they played better on Control Center. They played better on Gardens. But they just, it didn't kind of come together on Gardens there. And then on Night Market, Finland just shit the bed here. China had their own mistakes, and China's mistakes were much more on a level where you can exploit them at a macro level than Finland's kind of like micro mistakes. Micro mistakes are less exploitable at a macro level. So if I see consistent micro mistakes, I advise the players who are most likely to end up in a 1v1 with that player. So for example, if I see Shy, and this is one of the things that I did, is if I see Shy is playing a very aggressive Brigitte style, likes to rally to try and stay alive and overextend, or shield bash forward in order to try and punish out of position Brigittas, I'll let our own Brigitte player, Mangachu, know this so that it's something to look out for, and that if we see that, people are aware that this is a mistake and this is something that they can punish. But on a macro level, we can punish things like scouting by rolling out on counter comps and assume that they're not either not going to rotate or counter pick properly. So, yeah, 55% for Finland to take that from China is not good. Okay, China, to their credit, swaps off their stupid comp. And they go on to Somber Goats. The reason they're going on to Somber Goats is because they have EMP. Otherwise, it would have been a full goat swap. This decision is fine. Oh, I remember this. Shy fucks this up real bad. Okay. There is a 0.7 second delay between you decloaking and you able to activate EMP. You are decloaking right next to two people who have stuns active. I don't know why Shy thought this was a good idea. Oh, he still gets it off. But gets fucking rolled. Okay. I thought they actually canceled the EMP when I was watching it. I don't know why I thought that, but yeah. Shy gets fucked the hell up. That's what happens. And Big Goose also dodged it, so he can actually speed out. EMP does not hit either of the tanks, which is a pretty big deal there, because both of them are going to be able to escape. So this is a check mark into the box of Shy does not know how to play Sombra. Yeah. Fraggy going right back in. Holy. Either way. Goat's composition without their Zarya or Sombra, depending. So that was a free fight for China that they just threw in the trash. I was switching anyway. Shy, probably. Exactly, right? Okay. Now this is where it gets scary for China. Is the fact that Finland, even though they're on a composition that is on paper countered, they're coming up on double support ultimates. So if Leave uses bubble on Gushui here, and Finland is able to be charged like the last 10% of his ultimate, this should trigger an all-in on Gushui. It should. They should either use Beat or Transcendence, preferably after they get the Discord onto Gushui, and just all-in him. Because there's nothing really China can do except answer with their own Transcendence. So Finland can win this because they have 2 support elements coming up on Rally as well. So the trigger you should see here is Finland being extremely decisive after Gushui gets bubbled by Leave. That's what you're looking for here. So China tries to fake. Looks like Shy himself got faked out by his own team, lol. So they come back in here, and here's the bubble onto Gushui. Now, this should... You want to be looking for... Where's Shaz? Shaz is right... Okay, yeah, they're going to be doing it. Shaz wouldn't be this far forward if they weren't looking to go on the aggro here. But Gushui is probably going to go on a Zappiz, which might give Shaz an angle to find the Discord, even without Davin having to use Bash, which would be huge. So Finland should win this. They should win this. So Discord onto Gushui. Hard engage will trigger Transcendence from both teams, and then Finland will either beat or rally to confirm. Gushui may survive to get a second bubble, but even if he does, he won't survive to get the third because Davin and Big Goose will get their ultimates. That's my guess. Let's see if I'm right. All in Gushui with Transcendence, probably?
Pass into the iris.
Barrier will come out after this from Big Goose if he gets it. Ooh, I'm not used to flying through walls. There's double supports. They need to punish Leave. They're not going to get it.
Time to nerf this.
Oh, that was so poorly played from Finland. Okay, let's see this again.
Pass into the...
So that did not go exactly the way... Like, everybody had that plan, but it did not get executed properly. Okay, let's see how this is going to work out. Okay, so we're going in. Gushui fakes out Shy. Gushui gets bubbled, goes in to try and pressure Zappiz, who takes the corner. Sky gets really low here, and Sky has to trance first. So the first thing that throws this into chaos is that Sky should have tranced second. Shaz has Discord on Diva, not Reinhardt. Interesting choice. Yeah, right there. So did he use it to keep somebody alive? Is that why Shaz used a trance of his own?
Damn it.
Here's the bubble. Sky gets low from McCree on Tymo.
Pass into the
Why
iris.
did you trance,
Pass into the iris.
Not seeing it. Tymo's popping high noon. They're chasing in here. Now Zappiz feeds. What does Zappiz do to feed here? They're moving in. I think Zappiz still thinks they're all-inning Reinhardt, not knowing that the Discord is on the Diva instead. It doesn't overly matter because everything is in Transcendence. Okay, Shy is low. Fraggy's still moving in. Transcendence of it. And that is... Gushui! The timing on that charge! Oh my god.
Pass into the iris.
Slam. Right as the trance ended. Discord's on him too. He's dead. He's dead. Gushui. Okay, that was nice. That was nice. Zappa's... That should be that. Oh, okay. Next fight. China caps at about 60%. So we're still not in final fight territory, but let's see what the next fight is going to bring. Okay. What's going on here? Pause. Zap is on the flank. Okay, Zappas has bomb. Fraggy is coming up on Shatter, so we're looking for a stun Shatter play from Finland. And then China has nothing. They're coming close to double supports and Grav, but at the start of the fight, China's not going to have anything. So Finland's play here is probably just like a little tiny engage until they can get bubble out, and then just go for a stun Shatter. China, there's so many things that they could plan. I'm not even going to try and guess. Let's see what they do. Finland's going top? Okay, Finland's going top. They're going to drop down. Okay, what is the play here? What is the play? Davin is discorded. Moving into the courtyard. Projected is already out. That's like an energy farming bubble. I still think Finland's a little bit too far into all in there. So Zap is... Hey. So this is another example of... right? Remember, this is what we were looking for. This bomb usage is exactly what we were looking for from Finland. So if you were doing a scouting report on Finland, you would identify that one of the things that Finland likes to do on a hard engage is use the bomb from Diva instead of comboing with Grav to prevent the retreat. So this is an identifiable piece of information that a team likes to do. This is a play style. This is something that you can plan for and counter. So that's nice to see. They're going in, but the bomb is again going to not land in the right place, right? So if you want to be like, so another piece of information would be that these bombs are not very well executed. In that both on Gardens, the bomb needed to be a couple meters farther, and Zappas would have wanted the bomb to be in this line of sight to prevent China from running away from the bomb, because you want the bomb to be making this place unsafe, and the rest of your team to be making this place unsafe. But so poorly placed bombs both times on these engages. Nice little stun.
My barrier's down.
You guys say this is setting up for a Shatter? Here it comes.
Nerf this.
Late Young got that 2K in the previous fight.
Hammer down.
Gooshray just failed to block. Gooshray just failed to block.
My barrier's down.
I'll show them. I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Damn it.
That sucks, Veltal. What was that beat? Why did Veltal think that it was necessary to beat? We're down Gooshray.
My barrier's down.
We lost our Brigida's shield. Why did Veltal see the need to beat here?
Damn it.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
I don't see it.
Damn it.
Assistance would be appreciated.
Oh, let's break it. Damn! Move to the beat.
My barrier can't take no more.
And stay down.
My barrier's down.
Get back.
Damn it.
Damn.
What is Leave doing?
Now I'll show them.
What is Leave doing? Show me Leave.
Barrier activated.
Nerf this.
My barrier's down.
Damn it. Now I'll show them. Damn it.
With them having Transcendence and Grav in order to chain, they have double support ults Grav here. Finland has very low resources, which means they would have to match with their own support ultimate in order to keep Fraggy alive. And then they could Grav. I think this was called. I think this was called. I don't think this was panic. I think this was a called play, and it's just unlucky that Veltal got a fire strike.
Vamos esculachar!
Boom. That would have been a good beat, though, because Leave also moved directly into the LOS to receive that beat, and then they all get fucked up. So one of the things that Veltal could have done, if I'm going to be like super nitpicky, is he could have landed, in order to be safe, right? In order to be safe, one of the things that Veltal could have done would be to land the beat here and then to transition into LOS. So this is not something that a lot of non-Lucio players know, but Barrier has a cast time. So you don't have to land the Barrier in the area where it's going to have LOS to everybody. You can land here and then slide into LOS so that your Barrier can't be canceled. So it's a full second cast time on Barrier. So Veltal had no reason to drop beat right in the middle of this choke. He could have dropped here and slid into LOS, applying it to everybody.
Defense matrix activated. Now I'll show them. I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
So here,
Damn it.
how do you actually conduct the beat? Because you jump in.
Vamos esculachar!
Yep, I think that's poor technique from Veltal. It's a long shot play. Like, even with it, are you really going to be able to... I think they have enough damage with the Brigitte and the Zen up to kill through Grav Color Hex. I do. Especially with them already being low and having their Discord back up. Like, Fraggy's projected is out. Or the projected on Fraggy's out. I think they could turn the tides with double projected. I think they could do it. Anyway. Doesn't happen. Okay. This is definitely last fight. China is going to be coming in with Grav. And this is, again, like one of the things that we've identified about Leave's playstyle, right, is the fact that he likes to use Gravitons extremely early. Not just Gravitons, pretty much all of his ultimates. China versus Canada is Saturday. The China-Canada match is Saturday. So I'm reviewing this one today. I'm reviewing UK versus US tomorrow. China-Canada on Saturday. And then UK-Canada bronze medal on Sunday. Deck? What is deck? Anyway. So I would expect to leave, just if I'm kind of analyzing this and I want to kind of confirm my model, my mental model of how China plays, my guess is that basically as soon as these teams are in LOS of each other, Leave is going to yeet that Grav at him.
Огонь по готовности.
There she blows.
Pass into the iris. Pass into the iris.
Portals are matched. Big Goose dies to Shy. Trade, though. Shy again, like another confirmation of the mental model. Shy being really aggressive on the front line and committing his shield bash forward instead of trying to actually back off and save it. Leave kind of still being the anchor of this team. So like I'm still identifying Leave being like a super monstrous carry player. His main weakness being his complete disregard for the usage of his ultimates. You know, that's like a massive thing that you can exploit and predict. Like, if you're playing against Leave in a tournament game, you can be like, they've got Grav, they're going to use it early. You know, it reduces the number of possible options if you've identified the playstyle of an opposing player. So, this is a weakness in Leave's play that is otherwise quite stellar.
Now I'll show them.
Alla till mig!
Okay, how is China still winning this fight, though? Okay, so how does China still win this fight? Because they use like their main win condition and fuck it up. Leaves like,
Огонь по готовности.
Fraggy charges away as if he was trying to bait that. I think Fraggy was trying to bait that. Davin gets discorded, and they're retreating here. So Finland has trance. Fraggy has hammer. China has trance. Finland has all the advantages here. And Gushui is also really low.
Pass into the iris.
Zap is once again kind of split from his team. Hammer doesn't find anything from Fraggy. Zappis gets stunned, but that's fine. He's still outside. Shaz is low and uses his trance. So Finland's still very, very much large and in charge during this fight, right? So Davin, Zappis, and Big Goose not punishing Gushue as charged. That's probably a mistake there.
Nerf this.
Big Goose is... Oh, no. Big Goose doesn't get the trance because it's blocked through this pillar. And then they do manage to punish Gushue, probably pretty slow. Veltal there tried to boot Fraggy into the open. And Shy, again, right? Aggressive and using shield bash forward. Oh, the bomb also, it did break Zappis' mech. So Zappis, I don't think, has been playing very well this match. So we've identified a playstyle on Shy. We've identified a playstyle on Leave. We've identified a playstyle on Veltal. We've got some good information to kind of understand how China is playing this. And then with Rally coming out from Shy, they can go aggressive again. Taimo bashes forward, but he's going to get punished for that. Or is he? Come on, just bash it.
Огонь по готовности.
Okay, what the fuck had just happened here? They're still backing out here. China took cap. Taimo's low, but he's going to survive? Where is Shy? Shy! Okay, he kills the Zen. Normally the first thing is that a lot of teams previously, about a month ago or something like that, were trying to like pre-rally or whatnot, but as we kind of played teams more and more, we found that using the rally to win the Brigida 1v1 is such a powerful tool. So I would have expected, at least if this was Canada, if Shy was like Mangature Agilities and they used Rally, I would have preferred to see them, especially with the assistance of the Zenyatta, isolating and deleting the opposing Brigida. Because in the late chaotic stages of a fight, if a Brigida is able to get value, they can really provide a ton of value over time. So you like to remove that factor as early as possible. Okay, so Taimo's still swinging away in Rally, still armoring people up. Gushue's hammer misses. Late Young gets pinned and demech'd. Taimo's still just... Shy is still going for people that is not Taimo. Taimo has been free this entire fight, and Shy's like, nah, I'm going to kill David. Shy just 1v2's Finland's tank line. Now are you going to kill Taimo? No, Shy is allergic from the Brigida 1v1. Sorry, Taimo. You're getting outskilled. Boom. Shy nice triple to clean up. There was nothing really Fraggy or Davin could have done because Big Goose and Shaz both died earlier on in the fight. So they had no speed that they could have used to escape. They had no healing. They had no Discord to kill Shy. There was not really much they could do there. I like that Taimo jumped on top of the little shack there in order to try and dodge it. So, that sucks, man. If I'm looking at that as from the perspective of an analyst or whatnot, I'm thinking immediately that Finland should have won this, right? So this can happen. The better team can lose. So me, as somebody who's trying to prepare for China and who was preparing for Finland, going, okay, China won, but so far I'm not convinced they're a good team, right? So hopefully you're kind of seeing, and I'm glad that I'm kind of confirming the thought process I had the night before the game, but like China has a lot of weaknesses, very identifiable play styles and whatnot. But the flaw in my plan, of course, was that this was a China that had not specifically prepared for Canada. So it was naive of me to assume that China would play the same way against a GOATS team that they would against a dive team, Finland and Canada respectively. And one of the things that went so very poorly in the China versus Canada game is we were playing expecting to find the same China that played against Finland to play against us, and that did not occur. Okay, map 2. Do you guys have any questions? Suppose, thanks for the Prime sub, Progenitus with the Prime as well. Clogdar with the 6 months. The 6 months. Also, was cool seeing you stop by and visit Wong last night. Oh, you were there? Nice. Colin with the tier 2 for 5 months in a row. Dave Dooley with the prime. The Storm Blessed with the 8 months says, hey dad, baby's almost here. Sunflower with the 2 months says, hey Jayne, I love you buddy. Can you explain the circle of counters as far as Ana goats and Zen goats goes? Yeah, so I'll mute this for a second. Give me a second. The circle of counters is very, very simple. If something is attacking goats, Goats wants to have Moira because it can heal up the most amount of damage, right? It's got a huge amount of sustained. Coalescence charges insanely fast. So if something like a Pharah dive is attacking Goats, you want to be on Moira. If you're in the Goats matchup, Ana Goats is better than Moira Goats, but Zenyatta Goats is better than Ana Goats. And the things that beat Zenyatta Goats can be... it can be Moira Goats if you can survive the Discord on your Reinhardt with the absolute absurd amount of heals of Moira. It can be cleave damage or splash damage from a dive because Zenyatta, Lucio, and Brigitte is really low healing. Which ones did I say? I said like dive goats with cleave, Moira goats, or just like dive itself. So that's like the main within Ghosts. It goes Moira, Ana, Zenyatta, and then like kind of Moira. But by far the preferred matchup between Goats compositions is Zenyatta versus Zenyatta. Happy 5 months, Jayne. What surprised you most during Canada's games? I don't think I was surprised that... I don't think surprised is a good word. If I'm surprised, I'm doing something wrong. Notice your present from your staff. What is going on here? I'm not going to review South Korea versus Australia because I don't think it was a very good game. Not a lot of things to look at there. Oh, excuse me. Can you explain why it's bad to use Moira and McCree combo together? They just have conflicting goals, right? If you have something like a Moira, it means you're wanting to like tank a lot of damage or something like that. But if you're playing McCree, you want to be kind of like bursting targets down and looking for opportunities. So you can play like Zenyatta to assist with that burst. It gives your McCree higher damage since your Zenyatta and your McCree operate on similar sightlines. And the Lucio to position, reposition, kind of escape people. Get your McCree into position, save him if you have to, peel, and things like that. So, no, the Moira and McCree just has conflicting goals there. Circle of Counters command. I should make just a video about it. Have you seen the Paris Eternal? Yes, I have. When there's a pharmacy, how much should a diva contest them? What should she do in Moira Goats comps? You should definitely... The only thing that the diva could possibly want to do other than contest a pharmacy is if there's an Ana, you also have to pay a lot of attention to the Ana's biotic nade, especially if you're playing in Goats. Like the USA's composition that they like to run of Lucio, Ana, Doomfist, Pharah, and then dive tanks is really difficult for a diva's decision making because you have to be able to kind of defense matrix Doomfist's potential dive targets so that he can't one combo one of your supports. You want to be able to defense matrix as well as boost up into the Pharah to try and one clipper if she's getting too close to you, but the Pharahs are going to be playing in a much more harassing style in that matchup. And then you also want to be making sure that the Ana can't land biotic. So playing diva into Ana, Pharah, Doomfist, Lucio is insanely hard. But most people will focus on the Pharah unless they're playing a harassing style, and then you'll be shutting down the Ana instead. How do you feel on people saying Ana is OP? Scrub Lord Prayer, right? If you call something OP, right, and you're a competitive player, you're just making excuses. Blizzard gives everybody the same toolkit, and you should use the tools provided for you to win. Kind of complaining about something being overpowered or underpowered for a competitive player or a pro player doesn't matter. Use the tools that have been given you to win games. Clogdar, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Why is Mercy not used in Goats? Not enough utility. The ultimate doesn't have enough value, and the healing is too low to actually have any sort of sustain, and it's not a trade-off that you want. You don't want to get low healing when you don't get something in terms of like a benefit instead, like Discord from Zenyatta. Are you going to review UK versus South Korea? I think that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow's review. Yeah, United Kingdom versus South Korea is tomorrow. Would Mercy be okay in Goats when she had 60 HPS? Still no. Still no. When does Moira tend to shine as far as comp is concerned? When you're taking a lot of damage. That's generally it. Because Moira has the highest potential kind of healing over time. You know, with her piss and her orb, she can heal a lot of things. And she's also super survivable without having to put as many resources into her to keeping her alive. You know, the Fade can give her a second lease on life, as well as allow her to reposition towards like health packs or cover or things like that. You can dodge EMPs with Fade. She's just a character with a fuck ton of heals. See ya, main event. Which player impressed you most in the World Cup? Either Fusions, Gouche, or Leave. One of those three. Okay, let's do map 2, Hollywood. Okay, let's get into it. XQC, I don't think he's going to be playing professional Overwatch because the rumor on the street is that World Cup's not happening yet here. So what is XQC going to be able to compete in, right? So I think XQC's tweet was like as a goodbye to professional Overwatch, and then I do think that Defran is deciding his future. I'm not sure. He kind of had an emotional reaction to it, but we'll see if that actually kind of sticks through. That's the rumor. The rumor is that they're putting funding from World Cup into All-Stars instead. Okay, so let's take a look at these compositions.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Zap is scouting, China rolling out. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at the moment where the teams scout each other. Okay, Davin. Oh, I didn't even see him. Look at Davin's nice little scouting position there. So he's scouted the Doomfist Genji. Oh, I still haven't had time to think about this. China is the only team that runs Doomfist Genji. Everybody else either runs Sombra Doomfist or Sombra Genji, but China not loves, but they've played at multiple occasions the Doomfist Genji. Chat, why would you play Doomfist Genji? Higher all in? Like, you can't defense matrix the abilities, so if you get like Gouche landing on somebody, Leave landing on somebody, and Crystal just dashing through them, it's way easier for you to get unblockable damage. More unblockable damage on a single dive target would make sense. But especially on Hollywood, unless you're doing some sort of rollout, it's really hard for Leave to transition from low ground to high ground. Potential for Nanoblade wipe, that's a given, yeah, but that would also exist within the Sombra Genji matchup. Just for Nanoblade? If it was just for Nanoblade, you'd want Sombra as well. In order to put pressure on supports, you could either EMP if they had support ultimates or hack them. So if you're going just for the win condition of Nanoblade, then you also want EMP. More mobility, follow-up. How would you soft engage with Doom Genji? You don't soft engage with Doom Genji. Okay, anyway, Big Goose, is this a mirror match? No, Finland has Sombra. And like Davin is also a foil to both Leave and Crystal. So let's see how this plays out. Let's just see how it plays out here. How is Leave going to get to high ground here? They're going to speed Alley? Links are still on high ground. Okay.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Damn it.
That was fascinating. Did anybody see it? What did you go? What did you? That was fascinating.
Defense matrix activated.
Look at Veltal here. He just amped, right? So they didn't fake him out. He just, and this is, oh, Veltal's so good. Ugh. Veltal's amp here is going to allow Gouche and Late Young to bridge the gap that they need in order to jump onto the backline. And Crystal is there as well. So where's Crystal looking? Crystal should whatever. Oh, Crystal's just trying to farm Fraggy for some charge, but he'll probably jump up onto Shaz. And where in the fuck is Leave? Leave is right here. So Leave is going to have to uppercut and then seismic slam. So uppercut, seismic slam, punch. I guess he still has two abilities if this really is truly an all-in dive. But then look at how Veltal and Skye play this. Look at how Veltal and Skye play this. Speed boost,
Shoot you down.
all in,
Bunny hop.
and then fuck you guys. I'm out of here. So Crystal, Gushui is jumping, Late Young is boosting, Leave is about to probably uppercut. And look where Skye and Veltal are going. They just fucked off. I love this. I love this. One of the things that you really need to do, especially in an all-in dive, is that you're using so many resources, right? You used amp, you used uppercut, you're going to use seismic slam, you're going to use whip strike, you're going to use jump, you're going to use bubble, you're going to use boost, you're going to use defense matrix, you're going to use micros. You're using all of your cooldowns in order to try and get this like 1 or 2 kills and then snowball off the rest of the fight there. But in this regard here, Veltal, instead of trying to like join the fray, knows that in Finland's composition, instead of trying to tank this dive, they're going to try and kill the backline with fewer resources because they had positional advantage. So Veltal and Skye just fuck off through the choke point. Linkser decides to do what? Linkser's like, can't do that, and he decides to go after Late Young. Davin's kind of like caught in the center here, going after Crystal, and Fraggy went through the choke where Skye and Veltal were kind of like expecting a Doomfist, and then they found Fraggy, and Fraggy can't do anything against Veltal and Skye if they're playing together. So by doing this, by kind of like all-inning and then getting to a very safe location, they've put 3 people on Finland kind of out of position here. So this is cool. And the other thing is that what this means now is with Doomfist having his abilities triggered, the next thing that Veltal is going to be doing with Doomfist's abilities on cooldowns and with Fraggy forced to retreat without his cooldowns, Veltal should speed Skye to a more impactful location. Leave him. Just leave him. Get to somewhere better. Oh, no, they're going to kill him. Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going? Are you going high ground? No, you're not going to. Fight was already won. Okay. Got that one wrong. I thought that if this fight was still not... Like, what was the first kill here? The first kill happens... So they just burst Fraggy, I guess. Okay. Sleep onto Linkster is going to be second kill. Okay, so we saw that. Let's look at how this all-in dive actually worked. So let's look at this.
Boosters engaged. Get through this. Defense matrix activated.
Amp dive. Amp dive. What are we going for? So this is like one of the weaknesses that I was talking about with the Doomfist, is that he had to uppercut, and then he's going to be going to Seismic Slam in. But Finland with Shaz and Goose have already dropped down, and Zap is peeling. Damn it, that was the wrong button. Oh, was it a counterpunch, not asleep? Okay, I got that wrong. Right, because he slept Fraggy, it couldn't have been asleep. Punches. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to take the slept Fraggy instead. Okay, so I assumed that China would... but yeah, they failed their dive, so they came back to punish the slept target. But still, like, that all came off Veltal just, like, speeding Skye back into a safe location, knowing that they were the targets. Knowing that they were the targets. That was... It worked out. They baited Finland real hard there. Poor Davin. Shaz does have nano. Oh, they didn't touch. Sad.
Stop the payload.
Yeah, they found nothing and came back to counterdive.
I could have walked faster than
You are right, Color X. What did Fraggy use his bubble for? What did Fraggy use his... Why is Fraggy's bubble here?
I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Damn it.
What?
Defense matrix activated. I'm gonna have bunny hop.
Could be an isolation bubble. I don't know if it's an isolation bubble or not. I don't know. It could be. If it is an isolation bubble, it would have been better to save, because he still has his jump, right? He still has his jump. So if it was an isolation bubble, it probably would have been better to use after being aggressive. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, though. Ooh, Sombra sounds weird at 200% speed.
Taking off. Shoot you down.
He used the bubble for the Ana to get off a hack without being damaged. What?
I'm not paying you for your acting ability. Let's get moving.
Oh, you mean... So if you actually are not trolling me and you're saying Davin, so he was trying to do a frontline hack for Davin?
I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Damn it.
No. And if you were trying to do that, you would use Defense Matrix instead. Good observation, but not in this case. If you are going to try and do a... prevent your Sombra from getting her hack interrupted, you do it with Defense Matrix, not Bubble. Bubble's too important.
Defense matrix activated.
Okay.
I'm not paying you for your acting ability. Let's get moving.
Lead gets fucked up. Nano gets wasted on the attempted retake. Yes, 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 yes.
Stop the payload.
Okay, China's pushing up, trying to stagger. What are you going to swap to, Finland? Finland's getting the Widow Sombra out. Okay. Widow Sombra. Veltal and Sky pushing. Late Young and Gushue controlling high ground. Crystal just looking for ult chard. Leave doing... What are you doing, Leave? Leave staging, I guess. What's Finland doing? Big Goose. Okay, so they're going for the high ground to contest as well. Davin's up there. Shaz... Shaz? You trying to sleep dart somebody? Neat. This viewer is so cool. I don't know who Shaz is trying to sleep, but hey. Okay, so Fraggy goes up pretty aggressively. Bubbles walks out of his bubble. So this is a pretty... It is a neat standoff here. Fraggy, you really don't want to be pushing out there, bud. Why is Late Young taking... What caused Late Young to take so much damage? Did he get headshot by Linkser? Probably.
APM 좀 올려볼까?
Fraggy's pushing. Because somehow Fraggy bubbled early.
Get through this.
Bonk. Still pushing in.
I'm gonna have to shoot you
Apagando
down.
las luces.
EMP hits 2.
Vamos escurachar!
Does not hit Veltal. Who's going to land the beat, but not before Davin kills Sky. That is unfortunate. Big Goose on the high ground. Big Goose is going to counter beat here. Now, why would you counter beat here? No one's really low. Why would you counter beat this, Big Goose?
Last time I checked, this was not my trailer.
Get through this.
EMP activated.
Vamos
We
escurachar!
got Sky. They beated.
Break it down!
I'm not getting it.
Forward barrier.
Meteor strike!
Nerf this. All systems checked out.
Fraggy?
Vamos escurachar!
But Fraggy was in no danger.
Apagando las luces.
Vamos escurachar!
Did Big Goose even look at Fraggy? So he sees Fraggy jump out of his frame. Maybe. I think it's a pretty poor beat.
Nerf this. All systems checked out.
Like when you are playing Widow compositions. Oh, that's unfortunate. They slept and then woke up Gushue. Let's watch that again. When you are playing like Widow compositions, it's very, very difficult for you to use. Yeah, that sucks. I want to watch Gooseface Primal, man. He's so good at this.
Sniper, be careful.
Slam. That's a double hit. Jumping away. Not going after Linkser? You've got to go after Linkser, right? Punch. But the kill's going to go to Linkser instead. Who are you going for? Gushue gets the punch there. He's not going to get landing damage. There's the sleep. The Lucio shots wake him. Punch. Do a juggle. Double hit. 1, 2. Oh. And then he gets the reset. Beauty. Beauty. Anyway, on Widow compositions, it's really hard to all in with sound barrier there, because your Widowmaker doesn't like your Widowmaker when you're playing support, like when you're using your support ultimates, not to save alive, but to like hard engage. And first of all, like the timing was a little bit weird in the fact that Davin EMP'd early, and then it only hit 2, and it didn't hit Veltal, so they beated. Fraggy was safe and getting healed, and they had Shaz. It's not like they had a Zenyatta, so that they couldn't like heal him up pretty quickly. Like the Ana's going to heal him up pretty quickly, and nobody else followed him up there. So Big Goose counterbeats, and then the counterbeat in that situation was not really to save anybody, and it wasn't really to hard engage because it was matching Veltal, but there was no need to match Veltal because everybody was safe, or could have gotten safe. So I think it was a pretty poor bait and some sort of like just no coherent plan there. And then Gushue Primals. So this was pretty. I just didn't get a feel of what Finland wanted to do that fight, but whatever they did want to do did not work. Okay, coming in this next fight, they've got Nanoblade, but Sky died. Leave is going to be going real deep. So they're just going to go in. This is interesting. Let's look at this. So Leave goes in pretty aggressively here. Leave's going to stage and then come in. Linkser gets Sky, so they can't Nanoblade, which sucks. Good shot from Linkser here. So Leave is staging up there. Come on in, bud. Let's go. So there's the strike. Finds Linkser. Linkser grapples away. Leave uppercuts anyway, but misses. And then Linkser is going to get nanoed right here. Beautiful. No dash reset for you, Crystal.
I feel alive.
That's going to force the reset out. At the same time, Fraggy punishes Leave for having missed his cooldown. Oh, he does get a reset. He's going to get Big Goose as well. Slash misses, and Shaz lands the sleep. Ooh, he was going to die anyway, but he might have gotten Big Goose as well. Good stuff.
Nerf this.
Links are still nanoed, going for it. And the bomb is where? Right there. Zappas did that to get back into mech because his mech is low, and Finland should gain control of this. That was pretty sweet. Okay, so next fight, China's deciding to match with Crystal on Widowmaker. And then they're going the Widowmaker and the Brigitte. So this is not really something... here's something fascinating. It did the slash get sheath canceled? I didn't see that, Hex. So here's something very interesting. In that... traditionally, you guys have seen Widowmakers being backed up with Mercies. This has been the meta for quite a while here. So here's something to think about. Here's something to think about taking the old meta and moving it to the new meta. Is why are neither of these teams playing Mercy when they have Widowmaker? That's question number 1. And then I'll just give you a second to think about that. So why are neither of these teams playing Mercy with their Widowmaker? Question 2, once you've found your answer to that one, is if one of these teams swapped to Mercy, would the other one stay on Ana or also match Mercy? And then third question is if you are playing Ana Widowmaker into Mercy Widowmaker, how does your playstyle change? How you doing, Slayergrams? Good to see you. So there's some questions for you there. So if you're kind of like new to the game, one of the reasons why Mercy Widowmaker is so popular is that in terms of, especially if you are playing a defense Widowmaker, it gives you an advantage in the Widow fight, in that if you get picked first in matchups where the Widowmaker is so very important, if you are able to control the space where your Widowmaker died and then res them back up, you can have like a second chance of that fight instead of leaving immediately. So why are teams kind of valuing the Ana pick over the ability to kind of give their Widowmaker the advantage in the duel? And no, the answer is not just that Linkser or Crystal are confident that they can win the duel. That's not the answer. Nope, sleep doesn't matter. It's not because of hero pools. Winston's cleave, kind of, I guess. Nano is stronger than damage boost. You're not using the Mercy for damage boost in the first place. You're using it for Resurrect. Anti-Nade's so strong. Anti-Nade's strong against things like goats, but it's really hard to land against dive, right? Anyway, I want to bring this point up because of like the other pros of doing reviews. A lot of the pros have like gotten this one wrong, actually. It's because the Ana heals more and supports the tank line more gooder than Mercy's. Oh my god, I'm getting trolled by Slayer already. You've only been here for like 2 minutes, Slayer. So the idea behind this is that like Canada ran this for quite a while, and we tried to replicate kind of like the stage 4 meta from the Overwatch League in initial attempts. But with Mercy's lack of healing, if you put too much attention onto the actual kind of Widowmaker battle here with your Mercy. First of all, if you actually go and dive a Widowmaker with your tanks, a Mercy doesn't really do much to get the tanks to fuck off. You can't anti the tank, you can't sleep the tank, you can't boop the tank. You know, the tank can just like pretty much exist there. And if the tank goes and contests the Widowmaker, especially in line of sight of the Ana, they can stay there pretty much perpetually. So the reason why Ana Zenyatta and Ana Lucio are being used a lot more in the Widowmaker matchup is the fact that the Widowmakers themselves are not dueling as often. So the meta has shifted between the Widowmakers fighting each other from the tanks fighting the Widowmakers. And the Mercy is only an advantage if the only two people kind of like participating in these duels are the Widowmakers, because then if one of your Widowmakers lose, you can use your tanks in order to kind of get that control of that space and res them back up. But with the introduction of like these really long-range, powerful heals that are more powerful than Mercy, and the defenders lacking the utility to kind of make those tanks fuck off, is if you can get your tanks to just remove space or map control from the opponent because they have a Mercy and not an Ana or some other flex support, then the Widowmaker won't have any sightlines to take the duel against your Widowmaker, and you can just shut them out. And then if you're not kind of getting the benefit of that Mercy, that Resurrect, or that kind of like, you know, just keeping her alive against just little tiny kind of one skirmishes or anything like that, then not only have you made the Mercy useless, but you've hindered the tank's ability to perform here. So the teams, the meta around this became going to be running Widowmaker and Brigitte, and this is something that South Korea ran a lot at the start of the practice days. It was not something that we liked running. It was very powerful, but it was not really a playstyle that Canada was very good at, which is one of the reasons actually why you didn't see a lot of Surefour Widowmaker, is because as a team we struggled to adapt to the playstyle required in order to kind of get Widowmaker working in the new meta. So we kind of were late to this party, and the amount of practice for the amount of situations that we thought that we would encounter it, like we didn't think that the teams that we were going against, France, United Kingdom, Finland, teams like this, we didn't think that those teams would want to play maps like Gibraltar or things like that, where such a play style and composition would become common. So we knew that this was kind of like one of the play styles and one of the ways that the meta was shifting, but we didn't think that any team would actually purposefully put themselves in a situation where that would become a thing because of kind of the clout that Canada has around having Surefour on the Widowmaker and being good at dive. We didn't think that any team would willingly go to those maps, and we were right. We never ran into those maps during the playoffs, so it was kind of like, yay, we didn't practice something that we didn't have to. But that's just kind of like a little bit of a kind of a refresher on why and how the meta of Widowmaker matchup has shifted. It's simply that Ana has allowed the tank line to be much more effective at removing the Widowmaker's ability to do anything. And if you give that Widowmaker the Mercy, the only thing you're achieving is allowing the opposing tanks to zone out 2 characters instead of 1. Nod say yes. Okay, let's keep going.
Be right back.
Okay, so what's going on here now? So they're just trying to like pressure tanks out here. Ooh, big EMP. Big EMP. Break late, young. Oh, Fraggy, no. Good stun from Leave there, taking him out. Davin just trying to build that EMP back up. That should have gone a lot better. But once again, Finland is still struggling to like adapt to not being able to all in. So one of the things in this situation, what Finland could have done better here is like you've got your EMP here, and they amp speed to move in, and Linkser kind of like grapples up here. But look at Linkser's effectiveness here, right? If we look at Linkser, look at all these targets. Oh, Crystal's grappled up. Ooh, almost got him. Look at all these targets. Look at all this value. I am contributing. So, it's one of those things is it's really difficult to hard engage into a team when you are playing that Widowmaker. All they did was back off and fall off the high ground, and they traded a mech for Winston, which is a good trade. The opponent is losing their main tank here, so Finland is being too aggressive playing with their Widowmaker. One of the things that you can do is, for example, use your EMP defensively. So they have to, being the attackers, take space from you, attack you, bring the fight to you, and you can kind of like sit in the back line. And if they use anything, like if they jump at you, you can just EMP on their aggression so that they're out of position to retreat. They're in a position where your Widowmaker and everyone else can get value, and then you can just punish that. So on Widowmaker dive comps, it would be much better here to be reactively EMPing a dive. Like here, Gouchway jumping in like this right here. If he had done this when Davin had EMP, he jumped in knowing that he had Primal, knowing that he had Bubble. Jokes, you're EMP'd, you don't have any of those and you're dead, and that's a free 1 fight. You only hit 1, maybe 2 targets, not 6, but you were actually able to follow up on it.
Defense matrix activated.
Linkser's trying his best, but he's getting spammed up by a Zenyatta. Ooh, double nanos. Fraggy gets slept. Gouchway gets Shaz, and then retreats. Big Goose is low and out of the fight. Leave is going to get his ass beat. No, he got healed up.
This will only hurt for
Come on, Leave.
Go to sleep.
Fraggy is not having a good game. Unfortunate. If you EMP 5 or 6 targets, though, how do you not win if you fight a 5v6?
Time to raise my APM.
I don't like, what do you mean? You saw what happened. They just dropped off and they didn't have any damage to follow up.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
You freaks could be in this movie. What?
You freaks could be in this movie? That's racist. Nice little isolation bubble there. That was really nice. That was a really nice bubble from Gushui. Oh boy. This might seem like simple things. Like, this might seem like simple things, but this is like such a beautiful placement from Gushui here. Such a beautiful bubble placement from Gushui. They're moving up, bubble, and there's the isolation. Beat hits. Oh, it does hit everyone because the bubble dies. But that was a really good bubble. It split the team. It almost split the beat. The bubble had already come out so that they could have punished Fraggy. Oh, that was really good from Gushui. I liked that quite a bit. Ooh, how did Sky die there? Oh, that's unfortunate. He thought he was safe. Fraggy's gonna go down. Did Gushui place his second bubble in the same location? Gushui, you asshole. Get him! Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Gushui for this fight, because this was pretty impressive Winston play.
No one can hide from my sight.
You freaks could be in this movie. What?
Okay. Going back in, still getting cleaved. There's the bomb. He's got another bubble. He's gonna go in. Again, trying to split, isolate. So good. He just wants to take Fraggy away from the rest of the team. Not only to get Fraggy, but kind of expose the rest of Finland. Now he's got another bubble if he wants to isolate. Good stuff. Good stuff.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Last fight, Davin uses Grav. Anything else up? Transfer China and Rally for China and Nano from China. Okay, so China, a huge advantage here.
Pass into the iris.
And they get heal boosted. So Zap is... I don't know.
Into the iris.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Zap is really didn't impress me during this series. Nice. Gushui has another primal? What?
All systems checked out.
Jeepers. Barry coming in. Late Young's protected. China is out of support ultimates. Late Young takes out Shaz in the background. Hey, Late Young actually did something. I want to see what Late Young did here. Okay, I don't know what that was.
Experience tranquility.
I'm on fire. Routing power to forward shield. Routing
Okay.
here for this. Suiting the power. Bailing out.
Payload is on its way.
This will protect us. Feeling powerful, and I'm not even angry.
Score 0-3. Sides.
Okay.
Initiating.
Is there... I want there to be... I want there to be a lesson or a cool play or something in this fight, and I'm drawing a blank. I just can't find really anything worth commentating.
into the iris.
It's just pretty much a deathmatch brawl.
Routing power to forward shield. Routing power to
Nerf
forward
this.
shield.
My barrier's down.
Yeah, so if we wanted to see like cool things in this fight, we'd have to go like first person.
Powerful.
But
Not even angry.
at the macro level,
Score.
there really wasn't that much interesting going on. At least not that I could identify. Maybe I'm blind, but there was not much macro there.
Initiating match.
Like, Zen was free firing there. It's not super surprising he got an extra trance. I've been trying to specifically drink so that you guys didn't see the G Fuel on the other side of this cup. I've been outed. I got this cup from TwitchCon, but it's got G Fuel on the backside, and I am not sponsored by G Fuel. So I don't want to... I'm not sponsored by G Fuel. That's why I didn't want to drink that cup facing you guys. Anyway. Now, I liked this composition from China.
Ready for battle.
Come on, let's go. Yet.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
How high can we go? Hello?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Do they stop me? The world is flat. Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. Oh, what is this thing over here? What is this random building? God, it takes so long to move. I'll get back to it in a second. I want to see what this building is. Why would they design this building? I'm holding shift. Go faster, camera. Is this an observatory? Huh. I don't know. That's pretty neat. That's a real place in LA? Is that oh, it's a landmark? Okay. I didn't know that. Where can you see it from? They must have put it in a place where you can actually see it. Oh, look. Convenient map design. Convenient map design. Okay, I'll stop fucking around. Well, let's get back to analysis. Okay, so Finland is playing Canada's strat. Canada's strat being lol, just farm EMP Nanoblade in sub 2 minutes and kill everything. So China's interesting that they're going for a little bit of extra ult charge right off the bat, and then they'll probably rotate to Cafe here. Now, this is, again, a little bit different than... Words are hard. A little bit different than how most teams play it is that normally you would have something like a Widowmaker if you were playing an Orisa defense on something like King's Row or Temple of Anubis, but here the sightlines aren't nearly as good for Widowmaker. So McCree is nice, still really high damage, still that burst. You've got your flash. And it's a little bit better against dive than Widowmaker. Junkrat, good against goats if people try and cheese you on the first point. Good for anti-dive, so that if people try and kind of like jump you, you can get the traps, you can get the concussive mines to knock them away from you. That's all good as well. The other like interesting thing here is that Sky is again not on Mercy, he's on Ana. And on defense, the Ana can be really beneficial in order to not only kind of help Crystal during poke phase, but to get leave tire even faster, as well as res if dive does successfully get triggered. So here is not some magical reason why you'd be playing Ana over Mercy in the same way that you would during like the Widowmaker matchup. In this instance, if it was Canada, we would have been playing Mercy. The only kind of time that Ana would be a better pick here is if you were playing with your Ana being split, probably, and you were looking for like anti-nades, and you were banking on Finland playing goats into first point. So that's something that we use to adjust our compositions. Is the only real reason why we play Ana over Mercy in Orisa static defenses if the anti-nade becomes part of our win condition. So if they're playing goats and trying to cheese us, like on Anubis, they go into the bridge, we nade them. Like King's Row, we get our Ana into one of the windows, we nade them. And that's one of our win conditions against goats. So unless China's reasoning is they're doing this as insurance against a goat's cheese first point, which you're playing Finland, it's certainly possible. Then other than that, if it's any other reason than that, I don't know why you would play Ana here. Okay. I am still on like super fast. Finland's taking it slow. They just want to start getting those ult charges ticking. They just want to start poking here. And Gushui is not going onto the high ground, which is an interesting choice here. Let's think about this for a second. Why would Gushui not rotate to high ground? Chad, help me out here. Why would Gushui not take high ground? No time? Yeah, they don't have a Lucio. No speed boost. Is it just time? Is it just a time constraint? Like, if they were worried about this, they could have scouted with D.Va, right? And, like, the value that this initial position provided was not enough to warrant being out of position for first fight. They know they're playing dive, so they're backing off for... Interesting. Halt gets eaten. Finland rotates in behind. Late Young is denying high ground. Gushui still staying on point here. One of the things is that Gushui's angle here, one of the things that it does do is kind of prevent people from staging in this area. Like if you're on the high ground, your angle is like this, which leaves this area safe. But Gushui is really forward positioned. He's not even on the low ground like in the choke here, which he could have easily gotten to here, right? And he probably could have gotten to here. The only kind of benefit that I'm seeing here is that he can prevent tanks from staging in this location. But other than that, don't know. Lei Young's gonna get out. Leave gets out too. Let's look at Leave doing that. Nice. Craggy takes him out, but Crystal comes up, takes out Big Goose, and that is going to be a reset. And this is the kicker. If they don't rotate back to the high ground during the mid-fight, that means it was planned the entire time. So Gushui, high ground or low ground? What are you doing? I would say this is low ground.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Fascinating. Fascinating. How are you guys? How are you playing this, Gushui? Okay, so Finland's going alley again. They're getting Shaz onto high ground. They're going to use that as their stage, but they're trying to do this again. They're trying to like get their guys on. Finland's trying to get their backline on the high ground against a Brigitte McCree, or sorry, a Brigitte. Not fuck, a McCree Zenyatta that has sightlines on them. That's not going to work out very well. Okay, so what are they doing? Where's their D.Va? Zappas is right there. And, like, this was one of the reasons why I thought that Gushui might have possibly been on the ground, is to prevent staging in this exact area. But Gushui, he's, yeah, poke. Oh, Gushui retreats, gets heal buffed there. I think that's the right answer. I think that's the right answer, in that they're trying to prevent the stage in this location. It's the only real thing that makes sense to me. And the other thing is that Veltal, listen to the amp, or does Gushui get... No, they don't have Lucio still. Gets hacked, so he can't fortify. They could have body blocked. Zappas or Fraggy could have body blocked that. Very interesting here.
Unstoppable.
Boosters engaged.
Whoops.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Unstoppable.
Boosters engaged.
Unlucky. On the upside, they've still got EMP, and they did manage to pull off their ult charges in sub 2 minutes. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I'm just very... the only thing that's really unique about this defense is the Ana instead of the Mercy and the positioning of Gushui on the low ground instead. Which is kind of cool. Which is kind of cool here. To the moon. Okay. So are they going to go for EMP right off the bat? EMP would be an okay decision. Probably a pretty good one, as long as they hit supports. Veltal going onto the high ground. Interesting. What is this? What is this setup? What? Leave has tire. Why is Veltal on the high ground? Is he trying to, like, hide from EMP? He's going to hide from EMP and then drop onto Cafe with Trance? So they're planning to counter EMP with Trance and Tire. Okay, let's see if it works. Is Davin going to notice this? Davin's like, where's the fuck's the Zenyatta?
Come on.
He's going to take the fucking elevator! Oh my god, he EMP'd him too! This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Veltal's like, shit, 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 shit.
Time to raise my hand.
Oh my god, this is so good!
Come on.
Oh man, Veltal's like, ah shit. And he managed to hit leave as well. Davin, you fucking big brain gamer. Big brain gamer. Show me this again. This is the best EMP of the entire tournament, easily.
Come on.
Here I am.
Amazing. Did he even know the junk? He didn't even know the Junkrat was there! He got the Junkrat on accident! No way he got the Junkrat on accident. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way back and make sure that he didn't know Leave was there. That's fucking amazing, man.
I might need this later.
Oh. Still doesn't know Leave is there. It's like, where's the Zenyatta? Where the fuck's the Zenyatta? Oh. Oh, somebody called it out for him. That you turn like that means there was a call out.
Here I am.
Yeah, he had no idea Junkrat was there. Sup? That was good. Trade 1-for-1. Tire and Supercharger come out. Fraggy goes in to try and take out Leave, but he gets rid of Tire. Late Young may have to bomb here. Nope, doesn't have to. Leave gets taken out by that bomb instead. Orbs flying across the screen.
Through this. Yeah. Game on.
I think somebody called out to him.
وريهم قوتك.
Now, Late Young's got Nano.
60 seconds
Ooh.
remaining.
Yep, Crystal is the fuck out of there.
Time to raise my gift.
Late Young gets anti. That's pretty big because the Nano's about to wear off. Finland can still win this. They do take out Crystal. Here's the Nano.
Iris.
And then Veltal still has Trance because he was EMP'd.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Defense matrix activated.
Nice, Finland got it. How you doing, Liko?
Stop the payload.
How have your streams been? Oh man. Okay. So moving in is China. Well, it's yes, of course China's going to swap. Let's see what they actually decide to swap onto. China's going back onto that old Brigida Widowmaker. So again with the Ana Zenyatta, and Finland is right back onto that Widowmaker as well. This time Finland's going on with the Zenyatta Lucio. So I don't like this as much as Finland because they're not going to be able to kind of win that tank contest. And without the McCree, they're not going to be able to chain stun to actually punish tanks here. So I think China has a pretty sizable advantage in this matchup and should be able to stall things out. Now, Linkser is holding around the back. Now, if we're talking about Crystal playing this properly. Crystal should be trying to focus targets like tanks and supports and be ignoring the duel. But where is Crystal? Crystal's here. Okay, let's see what you do. See what you got. Nice. That's a great angle. This is a great angle for Crystal to take because it's got an angle right onto what is like the main line where you know there's going to be tanks, you know there's going to be supports, but there's not many angles that a Widowmaker can use to attack this angle. So like Linkser on the Widowmaker isn't going to be able to be on the high ground shooting into that window, and if you are, you're maybe going to hit Crystal's foot, not Crystal's head. And then it's also really hard to flank around and get an angle because you would have to be on some crazy flank to actually kind of side shoot Crystal. So Crystal is playing this extremely well, not wanting to take the duel with Linkser. And how is Linkser playing this? Linkser is looking for Crystal. So both Widowmakers are playing this correctly. So, and here we go, right? With the nano boost onto Linkser there, you're going to be, nope, I'm going to shut you down because I want Crystal doing other things than fighting you. Get my webcam out. What? Shaz is going to get taken out as well. Yeah, China is playing this better. Like, Finland isn't playing bad, but China's playing better here. And what is going on here? Oh.
Time to raise my APM. Allah till men. Nerf this.
Pass into the iris.
What? Okay, so Fraggy's front line, that's fine. Gets stunned out, gets the barrier, bubbles, trying to get some pressure in, decides to jump for the Mega. Shaz takes out Late Young, but he drops in turn. He's going to go for the jump onto Crystal. You could have probably just walked up him there, and then he bubbles. Decides to... Nobody died, though. Who is he going to spawn camp? Wait, the Ana died, right? Didn't Sky die? Late Young died. Okay, so it was only the Diva. He was trying to spawn camp Diva?
Barrier up. I feel great. Barrier activated.
He is looking for an escape.
Payload is on its way.
You might have been able to get... He might have been able to kill Crystal there if he committed.
Pass into the
Okay, interesting. Interesting. I don't understand, but it's interesting. China wins another one. Okay. So, probably not the last fight, but it could be the last fight, and Finland's
60 seconds
panicking
remaining.
reasonably, going to Goats. Now, this is not a bad pick. Like, they're not going to be able to contest the Widowmaker, but they weren't going to be able to contest the Widowmaker anyway. Like, this is like the way they were playing it with Gushui shutting down Linkser on the Widowmaker and Crystal electing not to take the Widowmaker duel unless he absolutely had to. And, you know, Linkser's position was really good. Linkser had found, like, the one angle that would have been allowing him to duel Crystal. Because if he was higher up, he wouldn't have had the same angle, and Crystal could have stood farther back. Like, Crystal could have stood in this location to completely have zoned out that high ground there. But, right, if you're standing here, you can see that like second story, but you can't see the roof. So like Linkster was playing it well, China was still playing it better. So it didn't really matter if they're switching off to Goats here because they weren't really able to be contesting Crystal anyway. So Goats is coming in. They do have the Transcendence and the Rally, so they should be able to get this pretty far here, especially since Leave is not going to be able to basically participate in this anymore. How did Shaz die? Shaz...
I welcome adversity.
A body shot discorded plus Late Young just getting the final blow. With him having Discord, this needs to be a reset. Oh. This is where morale goes from we can win to oh fuck. That's a morale killer right there. Like that fight is a morale killer. You lost your Transcendence and your Rally in what was potentially a final fight situation. So now Finland is angry, frustrated, and down 2 maps. It's not a good thing to be. And their Diva's not in mech for this final fight. They touch. Leave doesn't land a nade on anybody but the Lucio. Now, what gets Finland so split here? Okay, so let's look at Sky's ante. It's going to hit Davin and Big Goose? It does hit Davin and Big Goose here. So why do they split?
This will only hurt for a minute.
Davin is low. Shield bashes to safety.
Nerf this.
Big Goose tries to retreat, and Gooshway goes for the split.
Pass into the iris.
Oh, Shaz! Oh, you went in. You went the wrong way.
Mecha activated.
Wait, what? Where was Late Young's bomb?
Nerf this.
Pass into the iris.
Are you fucking kidding me? Is that even a straight line? Holy shit. Okay. I'd be pissed.
Mecha activated. I'm fast.
Pass
And
into
China
the
takes it.
iris.
Pretty commanding on Hollywood. Pretty commanding on Hollywood. Okay.
Victory.
So China with a little bit more of a unique take on Hollywood, especially their defense with the Orisa, but not really sure what Fraggy's intention was on Winston there. And yeah, China outplayed them in the Widowmaker game. They absolutely did. So there was times when Finland was playing well, but China was playing better. And then at the end there, Finland got panicked. They got split after they got picked, and I think they kind of got taken out there. So, okay. Let's look at China's setup right off the bat. This looks like a Canadian setup. Well, this isn't... Sky is in a different position from what Canada plays on Hanamura. But, so Crystal is scouting, and then Late Young is controlling the window. Yep. Gooshway is controlling the door. Sky is... So Sky's position here is a little bit interesting. Why Sky and Veltal are not playing together is a bit interesting. Is he trying to just throw a nade, maybe? He'd maybe just try and throw a nade and get into position. But then Doomfist is... Oh, not on the high ground. Are you moving? You are moving. Okay, weird. Weird that you wouldn't stay up there. But anyway, so what this defense implies or is set up to do... what this defense is set up to do is... This is like a perfect example of a kill zone. So a kill zone is an area that you defensively stage a dive for and trigger... based on when the opponents walk through it. So it should be pretty obvious, but where's the kill zone on this map? Where's China's kill zone? Should be enough time. This is the kill zone right here. This is the kill zone. So the Finland here is going to be playing goats. Are they actually going to be playing symmetric goats? I don't remember this map. So if they are playing symmetric goats, they're going to like teleport right to the point here. But this is the kill zone that they're set up for. Veltal has LOS. Sky will have LOS. Gushui is here, so he's able to cleave without having to use cooldowns. Late Young's right there, and Leave can kind of come in, and then Crystal, instead of translocating, can just kind of stalk the team up, and then he is the one who's scouting and calling the timing of this dive. So the main objective for them here is if this was standard goats, what you would want to do is come here, and then you would want to speed into this area. So you'd get through the kill box, you'd be into this area, you'd go up and around, and you'd come up to this bridge area. But in order to kind of break that, not only is Crystal going to want to come in behind and maybe land a hack, but Leave is going to be doing great work if he can uppercut multiple targets and then punch them to prevent them from getting into this door right here. Gushui and Late Young's main job is to go in to make sure that Leave doesn't get hacked, stunned, killed, and Crystal's a lot of pressure here. Veltal and Sky. Sky will try and land a nade. That's probably why he's on this high ground. Maybe this is not a good position. Like, this bothers me. I suspect that Sky is going to stay here if Goats is scouted, and if Dive is scouted, he would rotate to Veltal. So this is a good position for Goats, a bad position for Dive. So this implies to me that this is based off of Crystal's scouting. That if Crystal scouts Dive, Sky rotates to where Veltal is. But Veltal doesn't get as much value as high ground as Sky does, because Sky is going to be wanting to land the anti-nades. But Finland with the 200 big brain IQ, and I either haven't seen or don't remember this map, and that Linkser has Symmetra, so if they place a teleporter here, they can be like, whoop, and get right to point. And if they do that, well, Crystal's going to be in a shit position, Leave is going to be in a shit position, Gushui and Late aren't be able to do it. And this, if Finland pulls this off, is going to go really fucking badly for China. Canada has a 0% win rate playing this composition. We've tried it. We've tried it on a lot of maps. Canada has a 0% win rate on this composition. Usually because it's hard to actually get your team across the translocator together, right? It's pretty telegraphed when you're doing this. You can get cleaved pretty hard setting it up, especially on like Horizon. It's very difficult. So it has its weaknesses. First of all, that you're playing Linkser on Symmetra instead of on a Brigitte. So you lose out on some AoE heals, you lose out some stuns, but if you do manage to get everyone to the point and you set up some turrets, it just makes it even more difficult. So Canada sucks at this comp real bad. But let's see how Finland does it. So Finland is going to roll out. They are playing Linkser here. So where are they actually going to drop this teleporter? So they're here. They want to try and force a tank out. There's the teleporter. Boom. And where's Crystal? Sucks to be you. Turrets are going to go up. Yeah, they took out the turret as quickly as they could. And they find Veltal. Veltal did not see that coming. They've got the turrets up now. Leave can't even do much. He's getting harassed. Leave takes out Fraggy with the punch. But this is bad. This is bad if you're China. So well played, Finland. Caught China off guard. They didn't expect it. They didn't contest your teleporter, and Veltal didn't rotate. Very interesting. Very interesting. I lurk in this stream. Lurking's not allowed in this stream. We gotta say, hey, guys. I haven't done a lurker check-in forever. But okay, so I know social interaction is hard, but this channel has one rule. You just gotta give me a hey, guys. That'll be your social interaction for the day, and you can go back to lurking. But you have to say hi at least once. It's just the rule. It's just the rule. It won't hurt. We're all friends. Just give me a hey, guys, exactly once and go back to lurking. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Okay, second point setup. Does China swap? China swaps May. This is like something Surefour would do, honestly. May Doom. So Finland is going underneath. Linkser is swapping. Why are they attacking his 5? Isn't Linkser, like... here? The fuck are you doing, Finland? Don't worry, I'm here. I don't get it. Was there a miscommunication there? Symmetra isn't even that bad trying to snowball, right? Because on this point especially, if the Symmetra places like turrets here on this little ledge, the people who are trying to contest the point actually can't destroy them until they get on the point and start getting shot by them. So, like, they wanted to drive 5v5, I guess, but Symmetra would have been fine for a snowball attempt, especially if you get that wall. Like, what percentage to Symmetra's ultimate was Linkser at? Linkser was at 67%. You could have gotten that. You had Coalescence. You could have set up the turrets on the point to prevent the contest and force the objective. A lot of things you could have done here, and out of all the possible options they had available to them, they picked the 5v5 option. Did they get an early pick or something? What would have caused this? Frag... Okay, so they get Sky. So that's why they want to kind of, like, push things, right? Crystal's up there trying to split. So do they recognize it, and that's why they go to the bottom right? Could very well be. Leaf punches Big Goose. Sky should be respawning. Yep, Sky's back. There's the nade. Gets eaten by Zappiz. That was a very nice eat. Lynx are trying to force point, but Veltal takes out Davin, and that's going to be a reset for Finland. RDT&E? What does that mean? Oh. Entering lurking mode. Indeed. Okay, so they're going to stay on the flying goats. Interesting that Finland decided to play Winston here. I actually didn't realize that. Did I not... Why do I not remember this map? Maybe I was just really tired at the time. Does subbing count as social interaction? Yes, it does. Pushing in. Oh, wait, this is the quad kill, right? Yeah. Okay, I remember this map now. For some reason, I just don't remember the first point. Quad kill on the Doomfist there. What is the next fight? Swaps. So Finland, good plays, good plays. Finland getting off of the goats, and they're going on to the Brigitte McCree. I really like this pick against China. The Mei makes things a little bit more challenging, because one of the ways that you want to play this is to be able to take the high ground there. But if Crystal can wall off and split, which I assume is going to happen, there's no wall so far, right? Or was there? And I just missed it. Okay, come on in. Come on in. Maywall is triggered. Maywall is up, but it misses most of them. Leave is forced to punch out. And are they going to chase Crystal? They're not. Linkser takes out Leave. That's huge. Now Finland has positional advantage as well as kind of advantage in the numbers, and they want to take things to point here. Gushue is looking for some sort of dive to isolate. I don't know what he's doing. But, you know, nothing wrong with nothing. Looking for the perfect opportunity. What triggered... This is... So if you're a Winston player... These are the sort of things that you need to kind of pay attention to. Is look at Gushue here, and look at what he's attempting to do and why he's waiting. And then if you ever see somebody waiting, you have to think about what causes them to actually start taking action here. So let's try and figure this out. So Leave died. Gushue's team is down 1. Finland has the high ground here. But Gushue is not jumping up. Even though he has Leap, he's not jumping up. He's kind of get some information. He sees them drop off the high ground there. Still looking for more information. Sees Fraggy. Sees Zappiz. Sees the Zenyatta. Goes underneath. Jump triggered. Who's coming with him? Anyone? No discords. Crystal's over there. Sky is there. Is Late Young going? Veltal's there, so he can't get Discord. So is he going for an isolation jump? Like they have Sky, Late Young, and Crystal who could see the high ground. What is he going for here? So he jumps up and he gets Nano. That's what he was waiting for. That's what he was waiting
Feeling
for.
powerful.
Linkster rolls into the bubble, flashes. He's going to fan. Then Fraggy counter jumps. Late Young coming in. Shaz is in a lot of trouble here. Big Goose trying to drop the beat to keep Shaz alive is going to succeed.
Matrix
So
activated.
trading
Nerf
for ultimates.
this.
Nobody dead. Late Young bombing. This is dangerous. Leave uppercut takes out Davin, who wasn't able to peel back to the high ground. Bomb should allow Late Young to get back in. And Gushue is going to use Primal. What is he going to use Primal for? Is he going to try and use Primal to get Shaz and Linkster off the high ground, or just Shaz? Shaz off the high ground is big, because Leave is going to be right there. He gets taken out. Leave, unfortunately, punches the lantern. And here's the high noon from Linkster. Leave should be able to get to safety, but he gets bumped out by Zappiz. Very nice play there. And now Finland is very solidly in control.
Get through this.
Please analyze bubble. Fraggy's bubble?
All systems checked out. Routing power to forward barrier.
It's high noon.
Game on. 날라간다.
Stay alive while discorded so you don't get poked out. Not a great bubble, not a terrible bubble. It's just a bubble. And Finland...
into
Oh,
the
trance!
iris.
Fraggy, do they have anything for Fraggy?
Nerf this.
Fraggy has Primal, he's fine. Bomb from Zappiz. Crystal's not going to get taken out there. Gushue once again goes for the isolation. Shaz is going to die. No! Shaz survives at 1 HP. Blizzard comes out, but it doesn't find anyone. Crystal's ice block has been used, and they do finish him off there.
Routing power to forward shield.
I want to watch this again, because this was kind of a clusterfuck in this corner here. Gushue does a great job trying to zone out Shaz and Linkster. Shaz gets the mini, and then he gets booped away and gets taken out. Oof, that's rough for
Into
Gushue.
the iris.
Shaz Transcendence. Crystal doesn't have Ice Block, should be able to punish. Leave can't go for a squishy, gets discorded and killed himself. Late Young is all out of resources, just stalling.
Time to raise my HP.
Linkster still has High Noon, which he should use as soon as Divamech breaks. Good choice. Boom will also break the bubble, killing Gushue even faster, and that should be a cap. Leave finally finds a squishy.
Alla till mig.
Doesn't matter though. Finland played that very well. Finland played that very well. Okay.
Score 0-2.
To have fun, some people really enjoy main tank. Other people don't. Other people, sorry, some people love Brigitte, some people hate Brigitte. What position is fun to play becomes entirely personal preference. Okay. Links leaves like, that didn't count. Nope. No, sir. It did not. Okay. Well, we get a look at another rollout.
Ready for battle.
Okay. Show me what you got,
Attackers
China.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Please roll out on this, actually.
5, 4,
Damn.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend
She
objective.
got...
5, 4,
Did you guys see it?
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Boom. No goats. Nice scout. Nice scout. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so Davin is scouting. That's fine. That's good. China is going to be... You're going to be going out to Diva, so they're playing the just combo. This is just such a safe play. It's so strong and so smart to just go, you know, Ana, Genji, Sombra. If you don't win the first 2 or 3 fights, you're going to win when you combo all your ultimates. So I read donations and whatnot between games, not during games, because I like to upload this stuff to YouTube as well. Okay, so Leave is going out the left side, I guess trying to find some, you know, potential counter hacks if they're trying to like scout or poke with Sombra, but Davin's up there, so that'll be fine. Finland's defense. Shaz and Big Goose are here. Okay, so they're not playing over in this area. Both of them are playing on this high ground. That's kind of interesting, because this is a much more susceptible place to be dove, right? Where do you retreat from if you're Shaz and your Big Goose and China comes in and all-ins you? Where do you go as Shaz and Big Goose? Do you go back into the Mega Room? If you do, you kind of get isolated there. You know, if you're back here, you can either be on the high ground or the low ground. You've got this mini that you can retreat into and fight back. This is just a safer place, and it's also far away. So if you are a Winston and you jump from here to here, the big thing is that you're going to be able to use your landing damage to contribute to that dive. Diving from here to here is not good because you're going to have to land about here and then walk the rest of the distance to the supports. They can kind of like hide themselves in and keep them safer from a dive, which is also why Lucio is really powerful here, because if Veltal speeds Gushui, instead of Gushui jumping from here to here and walking the rest, if you speed from here to here and then dive directly onto supports, not only do you skip the kill box, but you actually get to include your landing damage. So being back in this area with Big Goose and Shaz would cause China to have to use more resources in order to execute a backline dive where they don't need that if Shaz and Big Goose are located in this area. Fraggy, what is Zappa's doing? What is Zappa's actually doing? So, like, the only really thing that I can think about Zappa's doing here is like a spy check or something, but you're losing control of this window, and there's no real reason why you can't spy check this doorway while kind of indirectly spy checking by just existing here. So I don't know what Zappa's is doing. I don't really know what that is. Links are in the same place, so their same kill box, right? Kill box on Hanamura is pretty fucking obvious where it is. The kill box is, of course, right here. But let's see how China plays this. If they're worried about goats, Zappa's like, if they're worried about goats, first of all, Davin would be able to scout that extremely early. But let's play and see what happens.
Show them.
So Big Goose did land a purple through that window. So they were just holding in this location. Sorry, let me get my pen out. You can see them already rotating. Big Goose and Shaz were here originally in case Davin scouted goats. But since they did not scout goats, they scouted dive. Big Goose landed a purple onto leave for some extra ult charge and then rotated to the much safer location. So I'm happy. We're playing good Overwatch so far. Now it's Leave's turn to try and get in through this choke point without getting his stealth interrupted, which is where Zappiz and Fraggy need to stop this from occurring. Leave is going to want to try and make it through, but here's the spy check. Yep, so Zappiz is there for spy check. So Leave's looking for an entrance. Is he going to get Defense Matrix to cross? Defense Matrix is up.
Miss me?
But that's what the Tesla cannon is for. I just got to slow clap this. This is like peak Overwatch. This is so clean from both teams. In that Fraggy doesn't try to spy check Leave inside of the defense matrix until the defense matrix goes up. Zappiz can just shoot forever and spy check forever, but the key that Leave is trying to get in, scout, and set up a dive is that defense matrix from late young goes up. And the defense matrix from late young going up triggers Fraggy to spy check. Watch this again.
Defend objective A.
Now show them.
Defense matrix up, Tesla cannon up. Hi, Leave!
Routing power to forward shield.
Oh. That's just like, that honestly gives me shivers. That to see, like, these are coached actions. Right? Both teams have been coached on this, and it followed it through its very logical progression to reach the state that Fraggy spy checks Leave and Leave fucks off. So I just hope that this little play, all of the little things that happened in the first 11 seconds of this match, I hope that you can appreciate just like how kind of cool this is. And now we get to see Leave try and make it in through the window. or they swap comps. They probably won't swap comps. Leave will probably try and either get in through the window with a translocator throw while invisible, or they'll try and all in with Leave trying to play like some sort of front line. But let's you want to watch it again? Sure. Let's watch it again. Let's watch it from the top down, right? So here we go. What's going to start is Light Young is going to start on the Hanzo. Leave is like Davin is scouting, and Leave is going to be out walking out an alternate door in order to try and get some information, or a hack to interrupt, or a crossfire in case there's a goats. There's like a series of actions that will occur depending on what Leave run is into here. So the nade comes out from Big Goose. Davin scouts. Davin scouting triggers Shaz and Big Goose to move. Davin translocates. Leave get the initial scouting. Zap is his spy checking. Late Young defense matrixes Leave through. The defense matrix from Late Young is a trigger for Fraggy to spy check with Tesla cannon. I love it. I honestly love it. Okay, so Leave, how are you going to get through? Your translocator throw through the window? Boom! God, I love Overwatch. Oh, yes.
Time to raise my APM.
That's why
Get through this.
That's why Zap is needed to be here. That's why Zap is needed to be here. I would like. Anyway. So Leave is behind. Now, this was a weird dive, wasn't it? But you can see that as soon as Leave gets on him, let's see, did Veltal speed through? This is such a god. Oh my god, there's so much good stuff happening on this map. Oh, there's so much cool stuff happening. Are you gonna amp speed? Are you gonna amp speed? Do it. Fucking do it, Veltal.
Get through this.
Do it. Do it. Crystal's poked it down. Do it. Amp speed. China, you beautiful bastards.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
It's unfortunate he lands on the high ground instead. Ah, beautiful.
Come on, time to raise my APM.
These long range dives, super hard. Did Linkser reposition for the counter? Where did Linkser move to? Where did... you beautiful bastard too. Linkser, recognizing that they've got in and that they're going to be doing an aggressive dive, repositioned from here where he was using for a kill box there, and staged a dive onto where he knew China's kill box became.
Get through this.
Overwatch. They know it's here. They're ready to counter. Davin's up on the high ground there as well. Boom, right in on Gushui. Gets hacked, but not soon enough. Not soon enough. Nice.
Time to raise my APM.
Oh, Sky got slept. That's unlucky. Okay, next fight. Let's go. Reset. It doesn't matter. Reset for the next fight. Oh, you're sticking it? Oh, soft reset into Nano. Linkser once again tries to take out Gushui. He succeeds, but the Nano Boost does a lot of damage in the meantime. Huge EMP. Gonna take out Shaz, who didn't trance in time. Oh, nice little soft reset. Let's instead of kind of waiting for the full reset, China soft resets. Huge sleep onto Sky there. Gushui's protecting him. Davin can't do... Oh, nice. Sky survives. Soft reset here. Just trying to gather themselves. Gushui's going to go in with Nano. Boom. Linkser takes him out there. Well, Linkser does enough damage to take him out, but Gushui took out Linkser. So it's a trade, but then leaves EMP come out, and that is going to be the winning ability right there. God, the start of this map was so cool. The start of this map was so cool.
Objective lost. New defense point.
Did Big Goose Nano Zen?
Get back in the fight. You're powered up. Get in there.
It's not something you would normally do unless they're using Blade. And it's probably one fight early. So I would suspect that the ult tracking from Finland was off. The decision to nano Zenyatta doesn't make sense unless you're expecting a Blade. If you're expecting a Blade, it makes sense.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Okay. China. Oof, they've got Blade, but they don't have Nano or EMP, so that's unfortunate. They'll probably just use it to trade for Shaz's Transcendence here. They do... Finland wants to take this as slow as possible and then probably win with EMP, I would think. Where is Davin? Hold on a second. Oh, God. Where's Davin? Hello? Am I blind? Oh, you're in spawn. Why?
Beacon in place.
Oh, okay. So it's fine to take this really slow, right? So China's on the attack, which means that Finland wants to make sure that this win happens as slow as possible. Meteor Strike is probably going to go in this area? No, he just backs out with it. Okay, that's not very efficient use. Here's the dive. This is another example of China's love of, like, micro-flanks, right? So here they kind of, like, push up, and they take this fight around here, but then they use amp to, instead of fighting here, they go here and dive in. So this is a pretty Chinese thing to do here. There's that in. Brand's going to save everybody. I'm really liking Crystal's patience here with the Blade, knowing that it's better to counter. Veltal, my boy. Veltal. Boom. Just hiding in the rafters, ready to go. You know what? I put my faith in you. Damn. Oh, man. Okay. I cursed him. I cursed him, chat. Absolutely cursed him. Stayed out of range for it, beat it, ended up in the pit. Just encountered a Diva Bomb. Okay, what's going to go on here? What do we have? We've got EMP Blade, but not Nano. And then Finland has Nano, so you might see the Nano Zenyatta again, actually. What is Fraggy doing? Is he trying to get his Primal up or something? Leave is moving in.
Defense matrix activated. Time to raise my APM.
Please don't pull a Shy and get stunned. There's the decloak. Is there going to be a reaction? Oh, I'm in the ceiling. Big Goose, you smart motherfucker. You knew this was coming. They're going to Nano Zen. Look at his position. Look at Big Goose's position. He's going to dodge the EMP and Nano Zen. For sure. For sure that's what he's doing. Oh no! He did get hit by the... Do you get hit by EMP and spawn? Oh, okay. He retreats back in there anyway, so he's safe. Boom. Blade still hits Linkser. Okay. Interesting. Don't think that worked out quite the way Finland wanted it to. Breaking Zap is his mech. Big Goose still has Nano. How is he possibly going to use this to get value? It's got to go onto Fraggy so that Fraggy can get Primal. It's like the only good play here. Davin's Translocator is going to get forced.
That's not right.
There's the Nano onto Fraggy, but he's at 50%. You got to kill Late Young and force Leave's Translocator. Late Young first, Leave second. Good. Turn on Leave. Good. Okay, we're coming back in. Only got about 20%. Where's Goushway going? Goushway wants to isolate Fraggy. He'll drop his bubble. Or does he have it? Nope, he will drop his bubble. Fantastic. Okay. And then Veltal is not going to escape because he has Discord on. And Gushweit's efforts are going to go to waste because they can't punish Fraggy anyway. Great plays all around. Wait, Veltal lived? How? What? Did Veltal live that? How low was he to have lived? Okay, Veltal. Okay, 4 minutes remaining. China's got pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing here. Okay. Finland, they've got the EMP. Let's check out Devon. Let's check out what Devon's going to do. Finland playing the Sombra Widowmaker. That's a little bit of an interesting play. This is a transitional comp from Finland. You don't... Wait, China swapped it up again. They're going Dive Goats? Okay, so China swapped to Dive Goats off of what they were originally playing there. And Finland is going to be... God, they really need to be switching this again. Like, as soon as China counter-swapped off of Brigitte McCree, they needed to get off of Widowmaker as well. Or is Lynx going to do that? Or is he just taking different... I don't know if he's swapping or getting a different angle. He's going back regardless. Okay. One free fight at least for Finland with the EMP.
Damn.
Yeah, so Lynxer did swap. This was actually exactly Canada's idea behind countering, as apparently the Schnozzers call it, flying goats with the whole Winston and whatnot. Is we felt that with Winston instead of Reinhardt, it made Doomfist even more free to kind of like beat people up and whatnot, because Doomfist can like uppercut Winston out of his bubble and just pump rounds right into his fucking dome and then punch him around and whatnot. But in practice, and I would need more scrims, but in practice, Sombra Doom actually struggled more against flying goats than it did against normal goats, and I still don't know exactly why. So, on paper, I agree with Finland's decision, 100%. In practice, we struggled on executing. So, that's still a question mark in my head. There's the free fight you wanted, Finland. Now, if you can hold out. This was a long map, 24 minutes. Holy moly. Okay. Let's keep her going. Keep her going. Thoughts on Lynxer? Great sniper. Good, flexible player. His Tracer is nuts. His Genji's nuts. His everything's nuts. Lynxer is Finland's gift to esports. Nice little scouting play from Davin. Ooh, Sky almost fucked him up there. Davin had to translocate. Only got about 20% off his translocator, or his EMP, and didn't get the kill either on an isolated Zenyatta. Okay. Now let's see how Late Young uses this bomb here. Fraggy's being forced out. Got a lot of cleave though. Nice double kill from Lynxer. Nano Doomfist, baby. One of the huge benefits of the Nano Doomfist is the fact that you can't defense matrix his damage. In that, if you're not nano boosted on Doomfist, you actually need the left clicks or the knuckle cannons in order to actually kill supports and things like that. But with nano boost, if you land a large enough seismic slam, you don't need any left clicks in order to one-shot supports, which makes it really powerful to kill supports through defense matrix. Here we go. This is going to be a lot of ultimates for China. I think, well... This is going to be a messy fight. How is China going to take this? Okay, so China's on the high ground. Gushwei already had to use bubble. How are they engaged? Gushwei's looking like he wants to kill something. Is he going to go zone Shaz? And he's fighting Fraggy, of all people. Lynxer's in trouble. He's discorded, wants to get out. There's Rally coming out from Crystal on the high ground, wanting to give Sky and Leave both armor underneath their shields. Fraggy jumps away. Lynxer gets taken out by a nice headshot from Sky. Gushwei's going to drop to keep the pressure up on Fraggy. He still doesn't have a bubble because he dropped off the high ground where he was using it. Fraggy's going to pop Primal, but he got stunned. Sky got hacked on the high ground. Is he going to win this 1v1 between Davin? Nice.
Огонь по готовности.
There's Leave yeeting more Gravs around, right into both supports. Shaz has Transcendence. He is going to use it.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
There was the attempted split. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Get through this.
Not attempted split. He threaded the fucking needle on this bitch. I thought it missed. Oh my god.
Огонь
Yeet.
по готовности.
Show me that again,
Pass
baby.
into the iris.
Toink. Oh my god.
Come on. Get through this.
Oh my god. That's insane.
This.
He didn't even like land and fiddle around to place it. He just was like jumped. He's like, it's right here. Easy. Easy clap. And I just got it immediately. Holy shit, Gushui.
All systems checked out.
Right click on his Zappas. Get like one more orb on him. Nice. Got him. I'm punching Gushui now, but he uses Primal to survive Doomfist's punch. Good stuff.
Meteor strike.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
There's an EMP. Still punished. Wow.
Score 2-2. Initiating.
Whew. That was something else.
Ready for
What was the really insane Ryan play he did? Oh, the charge on the trance timing on Li Shang Tower Night Market.
attackers.
Okay. Wow, Gushui is even more impressive in slow motion. Okay, let's look at this rollout.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
See, Lynxer's in a different position already. So Lynxer's already expecting the all-in dive. That's the only difference. Yeah, Lynxer started in the rotated position. Crystal trying to... okay, so just based off the actions, the downside of Crystal playing like this is the fact that it instantly telegraphs China's intention. Crystal going over the wall, right-clicking Fraggy, and swift striking out means no, like, really kind of all-in-y dives, and more that they're trying to farm for ult charge.
Defense matrix activated.
60 seconds remaining.
Trying to poke at the choke. Sky getting that nice nano. Crystal's, doing pretty good, almost at 20%. Blade. And then Davin's like, okay, you want to play this game? We're going to play this game. And Davin's trying to build his EMP charge as well. Leave gets in through that window again. I don't like Zappa's positioning here at all. Zappa's needs to be on that. So where is Leave right now? Flanking again behind. So maybe China is going to go for... ooh, that's dangerous. That kind of jump there. Ooh, Leave decloaks here. Why?
I'm gonna have to shoot you
Again,
down.
more ult building, I guess. Leaf gets hacked, though. Is going to get saved by Veltal despite the Discord. China managed to kind of force their way through there. Now Zappiz is hacked and in trouble. Going back in. There's Crystal with the nano. One dash should give him nano blade. There it is. Boom. Beautiful plays from China. They should have recognized that. Finland should have recognized that and played differently. But
Get through this.
oh well. It is what it is. Will they get second as well? Team kill.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. They have EMP and Primal. Oh man, this is not good for Finland. If Leave gets a sick EMP here, man. Whoops, I forgot. I always forget that this camera actually isn't blocked by floors or walls. Okay.
10 seconds.
See what you got, bud. See what you got, Leave. Where's the Zen? Zen's up there as well.
Apagando las luces.
Boom. No trance for you, Shaz.
Apagando las luces.
Bad days all around. Beautiful, Eve. Beautiful.
Vamos escurachar!
Overtime.
Dein Schutz
What they could have been doing here was spy checking, as well as kind of being ready to either stun or reactively trance. So, like Brigitte here, either you want to be having Zappas, like Zappas can spy check front, but you already have, quite a bit of people, and it's very unlikely that a Sombra is going to come from here. So you can have Linkser just spy checking by swinging his mace around, and then if they the Sombra does decloak, you either need to have the stun onto Leave right away or the reactive trance. But kind of like the lack of care, either they didn't track the EMP or they weren't kind of coached to react to it properly, allowed Leave to get that really kind of high risk EMP off successfully. So that's an unluckers. They still have both tank ultimates for China and a beat. This should be a full cap.
Escurachar!
Beltel, save Sky, my boy, good stuff.
Dein Schutz
Should be pretty clean. Late Young, what are you doing?
Pass into the iris.
Transcendence doesn't save either of the targets because Shaz stays on point. Huh, I wonder why Late Young didn't bomb. Was he hacked? Maybe. Maybe he died while hacked.
Nerf this.
So, Finland played that pretty poorly. They could have won that. Okay. Let's see Finland's last hope.
Score 4-2. Switching sides.
Oh, excuse me. That was such a good play. I've been really impressed with China's play.
Initiating match.
Really impressed with China's play. Okay. I obviously did not look at this map close enough when I was preparing for China the night before. I missed a lot of things in my initial review. It was like 5 a.m., so I'm making excuses. I fucked up. I should have paid a lot more attention to this map in my review for China.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, like there's things that I can like blame on players and whatnot, and I can like, take the blame for players, but the blame for China's loss firmly and squarely rests on my shoulders. Like, and that sucks. It's a lesson learned, and it's a situation that'll never have happen again. But it really sucks to look at this and be like, China's clean but not unbeatable, and they're definitely not a team that should 3-0 us if we're properly prepared. But we weren't prepared, and that was my job, so sucks.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Show me what you got, China.
Five, four, three, two.
What you got for me? Same thing? Same thing.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, here we go. Remember? This is interesting here in that China actually fucked this up, right? We talked about how if they're playing goats, you want to kind of catch them at this kill box, but China was actually late to the party. Leave is going in with a punch, right? He should be going in with a seismic and an uppercut in order to try and split them and kind of take them out in that regard, but they're actually pretty slow here. So Crystal called it late. Gushue goes in and gets the Great Bubble, the Great Cleave, which is the reason that he's going here is not specifically for the cleave, not specifically for the bubble. It's to protect Leave so that he can come in and split them with the uppercut. But Leave is late to the party. No value. Now China has to restage. Finland is going all the way around here. Where are you guys going? Upstairs. And then they're dropping down. Ooh, Kushue's in trouble. Veltal takes out Davin, though, again. The amount of duels that Davin has lost on Sombra. Davin had like one really good play, but he has not been having a fun time on Sombra other than that. Leaves in trouble. Linkser's trying to burn him down. Late Young's also super low. And Yeah, so China got out-rotated, which is unfortunate to have happened on Hanamura. As soon as you have goats taking position on the point, it's really hard to get them off if you're playing dive. So that's why you have to be very aggressive and decisive at this location, because if you don't, you're going to end up in this situation, which is not one you want to be on, playing dive defense against what is effectively goats, even if they do have a Sombra. Big Goose gets taken out here, but Gushue and Late Young are both down. That grab wasn't necessary. Fuck off, Linkser. You had that. Okay. 3 minutes to cap. You guys gonna do it? Man, probably really wanting to grab right now. China's got an EMP, though, so that's one free fight for China. There's probably 5 fights remaining in this fight. Or in this, maybe 4. 4 fights, seeing the ultimates. So there's the rally. And that's fine. There's no Brigitte on the other side. We've triggered Inspire. Crystal is looking for an EMP. There's the Translocator. There's the Nano onto Gushue. Right onto the back line. Is it going to be enough to take people out, though? Does Gushue have Primal? Nobody went with Gushue. Nobody pincered that or anything. So that could have gotten a lot more value. Linkser takes out Leave, so this is an even fight. And then Gushue is going to be chasing down Linkser. This time he does have Primal. Okay, where was that bomb? What is this comp? Which comp? China's just playing Sombra Doom, and Finland is on a transitional comp. Or is Finland actually going transitional? Because I actually have seen Sombra McCree. I assumed it was transitional.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
It's transitional. Finland's playing a transitional comp. So they're staying on Sombra because Davin was about 65% to EMP, and they wanted to use that before getting Davin on Brig. I have seen teams in scrims play purposefully McCree and Sombra, but it's not this case. Finland is transitional.
Feeling unstoppable.
Okay, here's where we were. Leave gets taken out by a shot from Linkser there. And Gushue's coming in the back.
Nerf this.
And here's this bomb. Where's this bomb coming? Oh, great. That was a great placement. Let's see that again. Yeah, I know the no main tank thing. I just assume they're doing this because of no ult or because of the way that their ultimates were.
Nerf this.
Bomb goes up, slides across the wall. Sup, you're dead.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Like if they lose this fight and stay on it, I'll talk about it. But if not, I'm gonna assume well they got
I'll show them.
EMP, so they might stay on it for one more fight. That was a very nice placement. So they'll stay on it for this fight because they have EMP. And then they'll swap Fraggy, we'll get off Brigitte, we'll go on to Winston, and they'll give Davin Brigitte. It should happen after this fight. Do. Come on. Okay. Davin is flanking around behind again. Leave looking for some kind of poke here. Just being attacked by... Yeah. So Davin does trade for Veltal, but at the same time, Leave takes out Big Goose and Shaz. Okay, so how does this happen? Leaves punch goes on to... What a disrespectful play. Leave just doesn't respect any of his opponents. Just goes straight in front of a McCree. Just frags a Lucio and Meteor Strikes a Zenyatta. Okay. Brig is really important because they have the Sombra and the Doomfist. You need Brigitte in order to help against those. Like if you get your rally, yeah. See, here's the swaps that we were expecting. Big Goose takes out Crystal. That's pretty big. They want to move in fast off of that. But Winston gets fucked by Sombra and Doomfist, whereas Brigitte has a better chance of doing that and surviving EMP. Leave is really low wherever he is. He's fucking around back there. Gets the Mega. Goucheray's attacking Fraggy. Linkser's trying to assist with that little poke battle on Leave. Finland has good control of the high ground. They've got one support ultimate, one tank ultimate, and then High Noon, which is not as useful. But China has both supports and EMP. So if this is the last fight and China can drag it out to last fight, they should be able to win this one. Fraggy jump over the high ground.
Feeling powerful.
Goucheray gets nanoed. Decides to not chase the backline. They did a good job. Zap is retreating. Lynx are using the bomb, or the High Noon rather, right after the bomb kind of zoned everybody out. Here's the trance there. There's the EMP, hits 3. Bomb shouldn't find anyone. Doesn't. Okay. Zappas gets melted. And then Davin is trying to go after Late Young, but he's heal buffed and should be fine. And Leave finds 2 on the Widowmaker. Okay, where's Leave? Leave just swaps Widow. That tracking. That's all she wrote for Finland.
Victory.
That's all she wrote. Okay, so Finland falls 3-0 to China.